for the pregame. Here's the voice of the Americans, Kirk Williamson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kirk Williamson. This is a hockey playoff doubleheader on Cable 15. Tonight, the Tri-City Americans and Seattle Thunderbirds. Two home games played in Tri-Cities on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. On Saturday and Sunday, the Tri-City Americans ran into a big buzzsaw in Seattle. First of all, it was the Seattle Thunderbirds on Saturday night taking a 9-2 victory over the Americans in a game that was marred by an ugly incident behind the Americans bench that had fans and players swinging hockey sticks at each other and all sorts of other ugliness. The league reviewed some tapes. There have been some suspensions. Tuesday's game was, well, almost as bad, but not quite. That was an afternoon game. The upshot is Seattle came out of the series with 2 victories. The Tri-City Americans came out without a couple of defensemen and without head coach Rick Kosovac, who was indefinitely suspended before that second game in Seattle. This is game 3 of the playoffs. They face off, and starting lineup is coming up on this Cable 15 telecast.
That's right. The use
Seattle and Tri-Cities and United States national anthem performed tonight by Monty Ingersoll.
For Seattle, Drake Spenrath for the Americans, right wingers Kyle Reeves for the Americans, Lindsey Ballas for Seattle, the centers, Victor Gervais and Scott Leverage. We are ready for the first period face-off. Brad Watson ready to drop the puck. Watt and the Thunderbirds win the draw. T-Birds drive the puck off the wall, right side, an interesting scratch for Seattle. Here's Peter Nedved, Tony.
That's exactly right, Kurt. Peter Nedved is scratched from the lineup tonight. He took a bad slash in the game on Sunday in his hand. He will not be in action tonight. Great opportunity for the Americans.
Puck goes into the right corner. Seattle zone. Spenrath shot saved. Loose puck goes into the corner. Chopped loose by Reeves. But Gervais has a big hit on Gervais, and he goes down beside the net. Spenrath into the corner right. Levens with it. Levens beside the net tries to throw it out to Reeves. He's tied up by Brower. Reeves with the puck in the right circle, left circle rather. Reeves shot, saved. Rebound shot, Farrell in behind the net. The Americans with 3 opportunities on goal already, and the play stops as we get the whistle.
Tri-City Americans, Seattle Thunderbirds. Game 3 action here at the Tri-Cities Coliseum. During the regular season, the Tri-City Americans held the advantage out of the 5-game series, 4 games to 1. Seattle has outscored, however, in this best of 9 playoff series. Get this, Kirk, 15-4. Both games in Seattle, and it is sure good to be home, isn't it?
It certainly is. Face-off will come to the right circle in the T-Bird zone. Seattle in green, Americans in white and gold with the black pants and helmets. Stu Barnes now with Rennie and Nibs against Seattle. It is number 19, Peter Kozlowski, the leading scorer so far through the first 2 games. In behind the net, Vince Bowe for Seattle. He starts the rush out to the neutral zone. Loose puck. Dan Scherstenka goes back for it for the Americans. Seattle changing on the fly. Scherstenka behind the net. Dan Scherstenka up the left side. Goes by Nibs. Cuts to the middle. Blue line. Scherstenka. Right side shot. Rennie save. Lorenz. Loose puck. Nibs. But Lorenz able to hang on to the puck. And now we get Kevin Malgunas and Stu Barnes having a little yip-yap down there. Scherstenka steps in the middle to thump Malgunas. Just underway, first period. So far, the crowd has been relatively innocuous, although there was a bit of screaming at the Seattle broadcast crew right at the beginning, and frankly, folks, I wish you'd knocked it off. Go ahead, Tony.
Danny Lorenz in the pipe tonight. Del Wilson Trophy winner for the 88-89 season, has a 1.09 goals against average and a 95.74 save percentage so far in this series.
Goodall and Barnes on the draw. Puck shot into the Tri-City zone, or into the Seattle zone, right of the net. T-Birds fire it back out. Will it be icing? No. Back behind the net, Kolzig leaves it for Sandwich. Sandwich steps up through the middle, top of the slot, cuts to the left side, taken off the play by Kiniski. Loose puck picked up by Malgunas, fired into the Tri-City zone. Around behind the net, Rennie. Steve Rennie into the corner. Kiniski jumps on him, but Rennie makes the pass to Nibs. Nibs left wing. Nibs around the left side, gets around Bilodeau. Pulls up in the corner. Rennie finds Rennie in the slot. No, put it on Goodall's stick. Here comes Goodall back the other way, but he loses it to Farrell and Virtue. Puck back through the middle. Picked up by Vince Bowe. Driven in on goal. Kolzig will stop it, leave it behind the net. Farrell brings it out. Shift change both teams. Farrell left wing up to Virtue. And we got a 2-line pass call as Virtue couldn't get Wood on it.
Again, that scratch could prove to be a big, big boost for the Tri-City Americans. They're playing without Captain Steve Jakes, assistant captain in this playoff series. He is out due to the suspension that was handed down by the league late this afternoon. Peter Nedved, a big scratch for Seattle. So far in this series, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. He's their 3rd leading scorer in the playoffs so far.
Face-off just inside the Tri-Cities blue line. It comes back out. Brower dumps it back in. Cut off by Farrell. Farrell tries the left wing. McCausland's all over him. Farrell fans on the puck, but it's knocked away by Degner. Back into the Seattle zone. In behind the net goes Brower. Cam Brower driving it around to the right side. Kicks off McCausland's skate and is fired out of play by Turner Stevenson. The Seattle Thunderbird crew, you look at them and you think of Gervais and Goodall at 5'8", 5'9", 160 pounds. And it's easy to forget about Brad Zavisha at 6'2", 199. Kozlowski at 6', 175. Stevenson at 6'3", 206. Ballas at 6'2", 198. And you forget all of a sudden that these aren't just a couple of little guys who can race up and down the ice.
These are very good hockey players. Got great size, great speed, good hands. No wonder Seattle is ranked #1 throughout North America in major junior hockey right now.
Faceoff will come just outside the Seattle blue line. Barnes and Kozlowski. Kozlowski, a draft pick of the Hartford Whalers. They tie each other up. Brower with the puck out of his own zone, back to the neutral zone. Farrell driving it back into the Seattle zone. Lorenz will leave it behind the net for Malgunas. Stu Malgunas under pressure out the right side to Stevenson. Forward pass right. Kozlowski. Barnes jumps on Kozlowski. Pope checks the puck away, and we got a penalty coming as Kozlowski goes against the wall. And it will be number 1-4 who takes the slashing call.
Exactly right, Kirk. Stu Barnes gets whistled for the slashing penalty against Peter Kozlowski deep inside the Tri-City Americans zone at the right circle. Stu Barnes gets the first initial hit from Kozlowski. The stick flies out of Kozlowski's hand. Then comes the retaliation by Stewie Barnes. 2 minutes, slashing penalty, Seattle power play, where they have been phenomenal.
40 what, 2%?
42%, 9 for 21 so far in this series.
Well, there's killing penalties that's killed the Americans, too, early in the game. Seattle has just been so strong. Face-off left circle. The Americans still 3 or 4 penalties in the first period successfully, but then the floodgates open in the second and third. Face-off left circle, comes up to Goodall, left point, goes right. Finds Kozlowski at the right point, back to Goodall. Goodall, right point, back up front, Stu Malgunas, goes left. Now to Bo, he drives it across the slot in front of the net. Back out to the right point, Malgunas. Malgunas and Gervais tied up, and Nip able to shoot it out of there. Back into the Seattle zone. Lorenz will leave it for Bo. Nibs goes in with him, but he gets it loose to Stu Malgunas. To Goodall, up the right wing, dumps it into the left corner. Off the wall of Virtue, he slaps it off the glass. T-Birds cut it down. Bo is shot down the slot, kicked away by Kolzig, and Kolzig jumps on the loose rebound as it comes back off the board.
Ole Kolzig playing in the pipes tonight as Coach Jerry Johansson goes with the big guy. Ole Kolzig wearing the iTech neck protector tonight as he is recovering from that shot he took right in the artery the game on Sunday that just knocked him straight to the ice. And Kirk, that must have been a scary sight to see.
Well, it was scary when he went down. It was scarier when he didn't move. And talking to him after the game was even scarier because he was still on Lindsay's planet. Face-off right circle in the Tri-City zone. Goodall. Yeah, I wish I had my own planet. Goodall and Rennie on their face-off. Loose puck. Kicked around, bounced against the wall. Back into the right corner, Gervais. He's pounded by Farrell. Puck comes up to the right side, Bo at the point. Bo tries to shoot it. Shoots it right onto Dips. He's sick. And Dips gets rid of it back into the Seattle zone. Minute 6 to go on the penalty to Barnes. Early action, first period. We'll recap the Seattle-San Antonio basketball game at the first intermission. Right side, Goodall. Goodall, right circle. Fakes a shot, goes around Farrell in behind the net. Tries to throw it out front. He does. Finds Bo at the point. Bo left to Goodall. Goodall to Stevenson. Back to Bo, but the puck is loose. The Americans whoop back to the point. Bo with it. Right side, Vallis. Vallis, right circle, shot across the slot. Redirected by Sustanka and then fanned by Goodall. And it's lifted back out of the zone by the Thunderbirds. Lindsay jumping on Vallis. Vallis gets it to Gervais, right to Stevenson. Stevenson outside the blue line, drives it in, but there's Scott Farrell to rip it back out of the zone. Lorenz will play it, leaves it for Vallis. Lindsay Vallis, first-round pick of the Montreal Canadiens, brings it up the right wing. Vallis, red line, behind Stevenson to the right point. He's cut off, dumps it into the corner, Nibs. Nibs and Vallis go into the corner hard. Now Nibs will run behind the net, poke, check it out. We got a penalty coming as Nibs is upended. And it will go against the Thunderbirds for hooking.
Number 23, Turner Stevenson whistled for the hook. As he took down Terang Sandwich down deep in the American zone, right side corner, or left side corner, excuse me. Gives the Americans a power play, their first of the evening, something that they have not clicked on very well in this series so far. Right at 17% for the series.
Well, they also haven't had many in the series as well. Kyle Reeves up front with Levens to the right, Spenrath left. At the points, Barnes and Dirksen. As the penalty to Barnes had just expired when Stevenson got nailed. In fact, 1 second pass. Face-off won by Levens as Reeves is thumbed. Forward pass from Dirksen to Barnes, back to Dirksen. He'll go up the right side. Devin Dirksen, Stu Malgunas, Chapman, Brower, and Kozlowski, the penalty killers for Seattle. Puck to Spenrath up at the right point. Levens will go after it and get it. Finds Reeves in the slot, a little hot. Comes off in the right corner to Reeves. He throws it up front. Lorenz will cover for Seattle. And racing in behind the net, Spenrath and Levens. Now, Greg Spenrath playing with a very sore ring finger on his left hand. And remember, he is a left-hander. The ring finger was jammed or split the other night. They had to drill a fingernail to relieve pressure and then put about a dozen stitches in it. They numb it by injecting it right at the base of the finger, which numbs most of his palm. Very hard for him to control the stick. Puck goes into the corner. but they need him on the ice. They need his size and his skill and his heart on the ice. Puck comes up to the right point. Dirksen, right side, Levens. Levens into the slot for Reeves, and Reeves can't get it done. Puck's loose, spin wrap to Reeves, down low in the corner. Reeves with it, fires it to the right side, comes off to Levens at the hash mark. Levens up front, Dirksen back to Levens. Levens at the hash, back to Dirksen. Dirksen left, finds Barnes, left circle. Barnes, right side, tried to get it to Levens. Bounces off the boards, Goodall has it, Goodall goes down. Levens wiped out by Dirksen, and the Americans go back to get the puck. Up the left side, Barnes. Barnes across the blue line, fires a drive, and it hits the stick. Winds up into section V, behind the Americans' goal. There's a sign behind the Seattle goal. There's a sign back there that says, "Don't worry, Seattle fans, you are safe here in our Coliseum." Good to see, even though there's a jab involved there. Good to see a well-behaved, sober crowd here in Tri-Cities Coliseum.
No doubt about it. Stewie Barnes coming down over the blue line, taking the shot on the extra man in the left circle. He gets a nice slap shot underway, but Brent Bilodeau puts the stick down there, uses it as a ramp, and it shoots right up into the UU section as a souvenir.
Face-off won by the Americans. Barnes down to Reeves beside the net. Whoop, got by him. Bilodeau has it, drives it out to the point. Dirksen tried to play it, couldn't, and Thunderbirds fired back into the Tri-City zone. 42 seconds left in the power play. Barnes behind the net. He's playing at the point. He'll start the breakout. Barnes brings it up the middle, finds Reeves. Reeves, blue line. Reeves starts down the slot, steered away from him, out of play. Down goes Level, back into the Tri-City zone. Levens goes down in the slot. Now Dirksen brings it up, goes left to Barnes. Barnes firing it in, goes in behind the net. Lorenz will stop it. 19 seconds left. Bo driving it out to the right. Lorenz goes down. The Americans with the puck. Penalty coming against Seattle. Barnes, a shot. No, kicked away. As Levens will go after Bilodeau. Bilodeau cross-checking Levens. Levens goes down, is hurt. Slashing will be the call against Brent Bilodeau, I believe. And all of a sudden, maybe it's the dark uniforms that caused the goon behavior.
Well, Brent Bilodeau going for the slash penalty, but that could have easily been switched around to Craig Chapman, number 26, as he went in with the butt end of the stick on Scotty Levens on the right side boards. Scott Levens went down. He's getting a nice hand as he steps back up, skates over to the bench. But there could have been two penalties right there that referee Watson could have assessed. Well, however you look at it, it's still a penalty against Seattle, and a 5-on-3 situation for 5 seconds, and in 5 seconds the Americans will have their second one-man advantage of the evening.
And still no score in the hockey game. Early first period action. The fans really making some noise now. McNutt a shot, fanned on it. Comes around to the right side, Virtue. Degner tried to finish up, couldn't get it done. Virtue with the puck at the left point. Has the poke checked away. Degner goes after it. Stevenson into the corner. McNutt ties him up. Loose puck comes around to McNutt. Lorenz drives it around to the right side. Whoop, got by Farrell. Foot race is on. Watch Gervais go. Farrell upends Gervais. Scott Farrell upending Victor Gervais. Shaking his head, but come on, folks. Farrell had not really much chance because otherwise it was Gervais and Kolzik eyeball to eyeball. Better to give up the power play.
Vic Gervais, very good offensive player, and he had the Jets on, and he had a clean breakaway. All he had to do was catch up with it. Scotty Farrell putting the lumber down between the skates, trips him up at the blue line of the Americans. Scott Farrell whistled for the tripping penalty, and that evens up the power play situation, and Seattle will have a 14-second power play as soon as the penalty to Brent Bilodeau is completed.
They'll skate 4-on-4 for a few minutes. Farrell really didn't have much choice. That was really not a bad penalty to take. And did you see how fast Gervais accelerated?
Incredible.
Barnes, whoop, tried to throw it by Goodall. Goodall knocks it down. Gervais with the puck, top of the right circle. They knock it loose. Gervais goes left, right on the doorstep. Shot saved. Kolzik to Malgunas. He has it behind the net, right side. Malgunas backhanding it in. Knocked away. Barnes and Gervais into the corner. Gervais tries to throw it out front. Now Goodall in the right corner. Virtue ties him up. Puck's kicked loose. Virtue and McNutt will get it. McNutt has it. Big hit on McNutt. Malgunas along the wall, but Lindsay takes it away. 2-on-1, Lindsay and Barnes. Lindsay, Barnes. Lindsay in front of the net as Lorenz comes out to upend Barnes. Here comes Seattle the other way. 2-on-1. Gervais and Goodall. Gervais leaves it beside the net. Loose puck. They get it in. Was there an offside call? No, he scored.
Glenn Goodall picking up the rebound off Vic Gervais. Vic Gervais taking it to the inside of Ole Kolzig, trying to stuff it short side. He is stopped by Kolzig. Kolzig is on his backside. The glove somehow poked the puck back out in front. Glenn Goodall doing what he does so well, picking up the rebound. He comes back around on the right-hand side, is able to chop it home, and the Seattle T-Birds get the lead first. They lead it now 1-0.
Vince Bow at 7:54.
Not a power play goal, an even strength goal, even though the two teams were 4-on-4. Puck knocked back into the Seattle zone. On the face-off, backboard is Brower. Still 4-on-4. Brower out to the middle, knocked away from him by Reeves. Reeves takes it in behind the net. Brower tied up by Levens, and a whistle. Penalty coming against the Americans. Seattle brings it down. Kolzig will stop it, and the penalty will be drawn. That will give Seattle a 14-second 5-on-3 and another power play as Levens is going to be ticketed.
High sticking will be the call. And again, the Americans taking the penalties, allowing the T-Birds to have the opportunities. Another power play opportunity, a 5-on-3. And this is just not what the Americans needed to have happen early in this contest.
Surely isn't.
Penalties, by the way, Kirk, penalty minutes in the last two contests. 202 penalty minutes for the Americans, 152 against Seattle. Nearly over 350 minutes in penalties in just 2 games.
Sunday's game had 80 minutes in 10 minutes spent in 10-minute misconduct. That's an hour and 20 minutes off the ice. Up front, Malguna, shot saved Kolzig, and Virtue fires it ahead, hits Rennie with it. It is a power play for Seattle, 4-on-3. Left side. 12 seconds left in the 4-on-3. Then it'll be 5-on-3, and then 5-on-4. As the Americans clear the puck out of their own zone. 1 second left in the penalty to Bilodeau. Now it's 5-on-3 for 20 seconds. Up the left wing boards. Kozowski right for Goodall. Goodall, cross ice left, Gervais. Virtue jumps on Gervais and lifts the puck out of the zone. Back into the Seattle zone. And Lorenz will play it off to Vince Bow. 4 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Puck comes through the middle. Gervais in ahead of Goodall. Dumps it off to the left. Goodall with it. 5-on-4 now as Farrell joins the fray. Farrell steps in front of the pass. Farrell goes to the right around Ballas. Farrell, shot, save Lorenz. And Lorenz goes down. Loose puck knocked out of there by Seattle as Trans Sandwich crashed into Lorenz and Bow. 53 seconds left in the power play. Dirksen and Bow along the wall. Puck picked up there by Goodall. Goodall around behind the net. Glenn Goodall steps to the middle. Here comes Goodall straight up the middle. McNutt lines him up. He goes left. Gervais gets it back. Goodall doorstep shot saved. He scored. Squeezed that one right inside of Ole Kolzig. Glenn Goodall.
Glenn Goodall taking the pass, going inside on the right circle. Goes way to the short side. There must have been 3 inches, just enough to get that puck by there. And it squeezed by there. I don't know how he made it go in, but it went in. A power play goal, and Seattle has jumped out in front now 2-0. Glenn Goodall, second marker of the evening, his 3rd of the series.
Get the assist for you momentarily. I think
Gervais, I believe, will get an assist.
maybe on goal as well. Let's see. Face-off, thrown back across the Tri-Cities blue line. Virtue with it. Virtue diving it in, left of the Seattle net. Puck goes in hard. Brower will take it. Whoa, pick it on Brower. Benrath and Levens just crushed Brower. Thrown out in front. Benrath, Reeves, both getting a shot at it. Can't get it done. Big hit there by Virtue as he crunches Brower. Now the puck's out front. Shot. Rebound. Comes off of Lorenz. Back to neutral ice. Sherstenka goes back for it. Kevin Malgunas upended by Reeves. And it's fired back into the Seattle zone. Behind the net. Malgunas crushed by Reeves as he hits the wall. And I believe I have an icing call, Tony.
And the only assist on that goal will go to Victor Gervais. Glenn Goodall from Victor Gervais. Glenn Goodall, 6 years in the league. Incredible.
Icing was the call, and we'll take a... Well, let's just stay here.
About Glenn Goodall, he was a candidate for PI Sports Star of the Year, holds a record for most games played, most points, and most goals in the WHL in a career. His nickname in the league when he first came, when he was 14 years old, are you ready for this? And I want you, Kirk, to go up to him and call him this, okay? Diapers. That was his nickname when he came to the league 6 years ago. And get this. This makes Glenn Goodall's 7th playoff game he's ever played in. That's it. Seattle has not been to the playoffs very often in his 6-year career.
Face-off left circle, Tri-City zone. Loose puck picked up by Dirksen, hits his skate. Both teams at full strength now, back to the neutral zone, but driven back in by Bilodeau. Kolzig will leave it behind the net for Farrell. Farrell firing it around the right side to Barnes. Barnes tried to find McNutt, can't. Lindsay picks up the puck. Poked away with the T-Birds. Farrell gets it back. They go to Dagner, right side. Dagner, right point. Dagner into the right circle. Tries to carry it around Bow. Can't get it done. Bilodeau out to Vallis, but Farrell cuts it down. Farrell a shot. That hits Gervais. Loose puck as Gervais picks it up along the right wing boards to Vallis. Vallis to the middle. 3-on-2. Vallis down the slot over the net to the right side. Picked up now by McNutt. McNutt up the left wing boards to Dagner. Dagner brings it up. Drops it for McNutt. Tried to leave it for Lindsay. Couldn't. Guess who's there? Glenn Goodall. 3-on-2. Goodall drop. Vallis right shot. Circle shot. Save Kolzig. And Vallis just blistered that one at Ole Kolzig.
Your basic drop-back pass to Lindsay Vallis from Glenn Goodall. Goodall goes in, pushes the D-man down deep into the corner. That opens it up for the big right winger, Lindsay Vallis. He takes it, and he blisters one. He sizes it up, has plenty of time. He shoots a bullet of a shot on Ole Kolzig. The big guy stops the puck. Guarantee you that he felt that one. Lindsay Vallis knows how to put the mustard behind that puck.
Face-off right circle in the Seattle zone. It'll be Gervais and Barnes. Gervais with Kevin Malgunas and Kozlowski on the wings. Barnes with Nibbs and Rennie. Now Gervais having a word with Jay Schurz, the linesman. Now we're ready to go. Puck is down. Gervais wins the draw. Stu Malgunas, top of the right circle shot, kicked away by Kolzig. Comes up right. Nibbs feeding it out into the neutral zone, but Gervais picks it up. Fires it right back in. Shostakovich will pick it up and go behind the net. He pulls up. Kevin Malgunas gets one in the noodle from Ole Kolzig. Now Barnes with it. Whoops, Barnes taken off by Gervais. Nibbs picks up the puck. Barnes takes another hit from Gervais. Back into the Tri-City zone, and we got a whistle. High sticking will be the call.
Against Stu Barnes on Vic Gervais. As he was sandwiched at the neutral ice, he got the stick high and turned around with the high stick and caught Vic Gervais right on top of the helmet. And Stu Barnes is whistled for his second penalty of this first period. And yes, another power play, the third one for the Birds.
They have big billboards in Seattle, big green ugly billboards that say Birds of Prey. Beginning to understand why.
They really like the Birds up there, don't they?
Hottest ticket in town. I mean, they got the Seattle Super Sloppies, and they got the Seattle well, you already know I'm a Lefevre disbeliever, and they got the Sea Chickens.
I was waiting for you.
I mean, this is as close as they got to big league anything in Seattle. Face-off left circle in the Tri-City zone. Rennie driving it along the boards right to the ice. Lorenz will leave it behind the net. Nibbs racing in, though, as he's being worked over by Malgunas. Ooh, Nibbs with almost had a shot at that one. Puck picked up by Goodall, left of the net. Goodall almost jumped over Rennie. Goodall fires it ahead to Turner Stevenson. Two-line pass. Just a two-line pass, and they'll bring it back to the blue line to face off.
Well, in the other WHL playoff games, it was Saskatoon 5, Medicine Hat 3 on Sunday evening. Saskatoon wins the best-of-5 series 3-0. Regina 7, Swift Current 3 on Sunday. Regina now leads that one out of the best-of-5, 2-1. The other game going on this evening, Kamloops is in the Lilac City to take on the Spokane Chiefs. That will be a Donnybrook. I guarantee you that will be a great contest up there.
Well, you got to wonder how Ron Kennedy and the Medicine Hat people feel after making that great trade that sent Travis Green from Spokane to Medicine Hat, and they go right out the bottom end. Puck back into the Seattle zone, ahead to Malgunas from Lorenz. Big hit on Malgunas. Nibbs and Rennie just crushed them. Puck picked up by Goodall. Goodall cuts to the left. What a hit by Nibbs and Rennie. Drops it for Kozlowski. Throws it to the right side. Turner Stevenson wasn't home. Puck goes in beside the net. Tapped away by Farrell. Stevenson with it at the right point. Shoots it in beside the net to Goodall. Goodall back up front. Bow. Vince Bow goes left. Finds Vallis. Vallis fanned on the shot. Schustanka turn around. Fired around beside the net as Rennie keeps Kozlowski going down. Rennie without a stick gets one from Schustanka and now leaves the ice. There's a broken stick on the ice. Oh, Rennie had given his stick to Schustanka. Gervais looking at his shot, tries to leave it in the slot. McNutt there to take it away. Out to the neutral zone. Bilodeau and Lindsay go after it. Bilodeau gets to it, fires it to Gervais. Gervais loose, blue line. Drops it for Vallis. Vallis in around behind the net. Kolzig will leave it for Terry Virtue. Virtue looking for a lane. Has to get it out to Lindsay. Cut down by Vallis at the point. Vallis shot left beside the net. Saves Kolzig, and he tries to cover it up as Virtue puts the lumber to Kevin Malgunas for being inside the crease. I think Virtue's going to get away with that one. But that was a pretty decent two-hander he put on Kevin Malgunas, Tony.
Glenn Goodall also down there right around the net, the little pepper pot trying to make something happen. He was down there right around the backside on the right side of Ole Kolzig trying to take a swipe at that puck to try to push it in for his natural hat trick. But there was Ole to put the stick up there and was able to corral that puck, bring it back into the big body and cover it up. That's a good play. Glenn Goodall, got to watch him tonight. He's on a roll, and this is only the first period, too.
2-0 Seattle leading the Americans. 6:38 to go. 15 seconds left in Barnes' penalty. Shot taken, save Kolzig. Loose puck, right circle up to Darcy Simon. Simon a blast, save Kolzig. And he'll cover up the loose puck. Virtue goes around behind the net to have a little yap with Gervais. Actually went around Kolzig to have a little word with Vic Gervais.
One of the things that assistant coach Jerry Johansson is very concerned about is the second shots, the rebound shots. The one thing that you see Danny Lorenz do so well is he'll take the shot dead on, and he'll keep the rebound under control. What has happened so far in this series, Seattle leads 86-52 coming in on shots on goal this evening, is that Ole gives up the rebound, and that is where the majority of the goals for Seattle have come from.
Shot taken from the top of the right circle and a face-off. Loose puck in front of the net. Kolzig backs it away. Barnes steps out. Virtue with the puck brings it to the blue line. Chopped away. Goes beside the net. Lorenz dives on it. As Barnes was going in, now Virtue gets one from Darcy Simon behind the net. And into the corner, Kevin Malgunas and Barnes go to have a little yip-yap.
And I believe you're going to see Stewie Barnes escorted.
Yip from both.
And
Watch Watson. Hands on hip, spread.
And better watch out, Stu. Got to give it in there. Stewie Barnes played with a lot of emotion. He had a chance to read the print today. It did put a lot of pressure on him. Stu Barnes has no goals, 3 assists, has 3 points only in this entire series. He feels a lot of pressure has been put on top of him due to the fact that Brian Sakic is now out. So Stu Barnes playing with a little bit extra emotion tonight. He's probably got the temper tuned up just a little bit higher than normal, and he's already picked up 3 penalties on the evening so far, just the first period.
Face-off right circle.
Number 22, Kevin Malgunas, 2 minutes for roughing. Tri-Cities penalty to number 14, Stu Barnes, 2 minutes for a stick infraction at 13.
Face-off, quick shot on the face-off, save. Danny Lorenz. Brower picks up the puck. Brower up the right side to Stevenson. Stevenson left, stolen by Reeves. Reeves leaves the loose puck, picked up by Malgunas, 4-on-3. As they break in, Malgunas to the corner. Virtue trying to kick it loose. Now to come off to Sandwich. He's lined up by Stevenson. Big hit on him. But Levens there to knock him out. Levens brings it up. Levens around the right side. Fires the pass through the middle, but Goodall cuts it down at the red line. Fired back in right at the Americans' net. 5:42 to play. In the first period, there's one chopped off Stevenson's stick. Loose puck, Sandwich. Picked up by Spenrath. He whips around behind the net. Greg Spenrath up the right wing. Fires it into the Seattle zone. It goes in behind the net. Bow. And icing will be the call. 5:26 to go in the first period. 2-0. Seattle will be back after this. Face off right circle or left circle. Tri-City zone picked up by Devin Dirksen. Dirksen goes right to Lindsay. Lindsay brings it up. Billy Lindsay bouncing the wall. Back up front, Farrell. Farrell backhand shot. Couldn't get redirected by McNutt. Lorenz way out of the net. Penalty coming up. Tripping will be the call.
And this will be going against the Seattle Thunderbirds as Danny Lorenz comes way out of the net. to try to keep that puck from going in. Great play, though, by Seattle as they were able to collapse down in there and able to get that puck out of the way. They do take the penalty, gives the Americans their second power play of the evening. And Danny Lorenz almost made a rare mistake in this series by coming out so far. He just misjudged it a little bit. This gives the Americans the power play, their second or third of the evening so far, Kirk.
It'd be the Americans' third. Darren McCausland drawing the penalty, I believe, isn't it? They call Lorenz. McCausland serving it. And I think it is against McCausland as well.
They may have whistled McCausland for the trip as he was in there trying to move people out of the way to get to that puck. Again, Danny Lorenz almost made a big mistake there by coming out so far into that slot area.
Levens, Reeves, and Spenrath with Farrell and Dirksen at the point for the Americans. Barnes not available on this power play, or at least until the second shift of it, as Malgunas fires the puck around to the point, picked up by Gervais. Gervais brings it through the middle, drives it into the corner right of the Tri-Cities net, comes off to Colzig, and it's picked up by Farrell. Farrell up the middle for the Americans. Scott Farrell goes to the right side, drives it in right of the net. Left by Lorenz. He's crunched in the corner by Spenrath. Loose puck picked up as Farrell drives his man off of it. In around into the corner to Spenrath. Spenrath and Reeves go after it. Bodies bouncing around in the corner. Now Levens with it up to Dirksen. Dirksen drives it in right of the net. Rebounds around to the right corner. Picked up by Brower. And Brower fires it the length of the ice. Minute 14 left. Loose puck right out in the center as Colzig just kind of dribbles it out there. Dirksen fires it in beside the Seattle net. Bilodeau is there, rips it around to the right point, but Reeves there to knock it down, but Bilodeau gets right back on it, fires it back in. Brent Bilodeau, 6'4", 210. Now Spenrath and Bowe trading shots back behind the play. Spenrath mashes Chapman, a good one. Farrell picks up the puck, finds Lindsay up the middle. Puck driven in, Barnes still standing in the penalty box. Lorenz firing it around to the point, and Seattle gets rid of it again. The Tri-Cities power play is not showing a whole lot of power here. Now they find Reeves in the left point. Reeves falls down. Puck shot back out, and a whole bunch of players caught offside as Dirksen comes racing up to drive it back in.
I'll tell you somebody that is on Mr. Watson's list to check for the evening, and that is Greg Spenrath. Greg Spenrath taking the body to several of the Seattle Thunderbirds, especially Vince Bowe down there. And I saw that the eyes were directly on number 27 for the Americans, so that is something that we got to watch for a little bit.
Face-off blue line outside the Seattle zone. McNutt, Gervais. McNutt has Degger and Lindsay. Gervais with Kevin Malgunas, Vince Bowe, and Bilodeau. Americans go in right side. Virtue firing it into the slot, cut down by Bowe, and ripped right back out of the zone. And now we got one going. That's Virtue, and is that Darcy? Is that our buddy Darcy?
I think it's Cam Brower, I think.
Terry Virtue going with one of the Seattle players, and I can't tell who it is. Has a 2 on his back. Now he goes down. Virtue's on top. No, it's Kevin Malgunas.
Kevin Malgunas, you're absolutely right.
Virtue being restrained by linesman Jay Schurz. And remember that Schurz, now Virtue being escorted off along with Kevin Malgunas. Watson working with these two linesmen on Saturday night as well. While they clean up the ice, we'll take time out. 2-0 Seattle.
From the McGruff files, the case of the Tucson tip-off. In the Midtown area of Tucson, Arizona, things were no doggone good. Burglaries were up, spirits were down, and folks were fed up. So they worked with police to get their neighborhood back. They organized community watch groups. In just 3 weeks, burglaries were down 30%. The people of Tucson are making a difference, and you can too. Write this down, and I'll show you how you can help take a bite out of crime.
Puck back into the neutral zone, fired it into the Tri-City zone after the face-off. 16 seconds left in the penalty to McCausland. The fight sends Virtue and Kevin Malgunas to the dressing room. McNutt carrying it into the left corner for the Americans under pressure from Brower. Back up front now, Schustanka. His shot kicked away by Lorenz. Brower with it in the corner. Lindsay and McNutt go after it. McNutt kicking it along the wall. Loose puck. Kevin Malgunas and McNutt trying to dig it loose. Comes off to Peter Kozowski. Kozowski tied up, and we get the whistle.
Again, you see the way that Danny Lorenz is taking the rebound shots and just scooting them out of there. Nobody, no Tri-City Americans whatsoever could even get close to it. As it was just a real simple wrist shot in on goal, but Danny Lorenz takes everything that comes at him very seriously. He just went ahead, put the pad behind the stick, and kicked it up into the glass, where there's no way a rebound shot can be taken.
I'll point something out, too. I've been watching the fans here tonight, and they've been noisy, and they've let the referee know a couple of times what they thought, but I sure haven't seen much of anything going anywhere near the Seattle bench. A great credit to Brian Rayberg and his crew. Loose puck. On the face-off, Reeves tried to get a backhand shot away, couldn't. He goes in with Malgunas. Malgunas whips around behind the net. Dirksen kicks it into the corner, but Brower is there. Levens lines up Brower. Loose puck, Gervais has it. Gervais turns. Dirksen so busy going after Zavisha that he doesn't see the puck. Kozowski with it, right circle. Kozowski throws it down the slot, loose right in front of Kolzig. Kolzig dives on it, and Stu Malgunas lands on top of Kolzig, not through his own doing.
Again, you pointed that out, Kirk, right at the blue line of the T-Birds. Devin Dirksen had the puck right behind him. All he was interested in was the T-Bird, and he kept on him all the way down ice.
Faceoff will come in the right circle.
Interesting note as well, Kirk, as the Tri-City Americans have yet to score in a first period in this playoff series.
They've only scored 4 goals. Face-off right circle, Gervais and McNutt. Back behind the net, Farrell in his own zone. Farrell tied up by Zavisha. Now Schustanka with the puck. Big rush by Seattle. Schustanka gets run. Here comes Lindsay. Lindsay bouncing off the wall. No, he'll pull up short. Throws it in the slot to McNutt. McNutt out to Farrell. Minute 58 to go. Farrell shot saved. Lorenz. All of a sudden, the T-Birds showing a furious spurt of energy on the ice. Tony, great forechecking.
Well, and they've been doing this ever since they scored that second goal. They knew that that second goal was probably one that would take the steam right out of the Tri-City Americans, and it surely has. As the T-Birds have really gone on to a great forechecking, excellent back-checking when they're down in their own zone, pushing the puck out of their own zone. The T-Birds have come to play tonight, and the Americans have really got to regroup and really take charge here, and this is coming up in the second period.
McNutt and Goodall on the face-off. Won by Goodall. Bowe behind his own net. Vince Bowe brings it out, throws it right up the middle of Goodall. Schustanka takes care of Goodall, but the puck goes right to Gervais. Up the right wing. 2-on-1 shot. Save. Kolzig, and he grabbed it. That time, the puck bounced off his stick. Straight up, and Ole just snatched it out of the air.
Big Gervais coming down on the right side if you're looking on from center ice, and he just puts the puck down at the top of the right circle, and he goes at it with the stick to the puck. Great slap shot. Ole Kolzig watching it all the way, gets the glove on it, kind of jumps out of there a little bit. Makes the crowd ooh and ah a little, but he had it all the way, and he covers it up, face off to his glove side.
2-0 Seattle. Late in the first period, minute 41 to play. We'll bring you up to date on that Seattle-San Antonio game in the first intermission. That's coming up, the Sonics and Spurs. Ballas shot, save Kolzig, and he dives on the puck.
Right off the face-off, the Tri-City Americans get control of the puck. They win the face-off, trying to push it out.
Now Kolzig and Dirksen having a yap with, that looks like Barrett, and Kolzig wanting to go after Barrett, being bumped out of the way by the linesman, Jay Schurz. I think Barrett, well, I thought Barrett was going to get dumped, but I guess not. Schurz is just going to stay there and kind of protect him from his own desire to go over there and yell at Ole Kolzig. Face-off will come to the left circle. Tri-City zone, Barnes and Gervais. Puck is down. Face-off won by Gervais. Malgunas shot beside the net. Kolzig kicks it away. Shustenka being worked over by Barrett as he tries to clear in front of the net. And we get a penalty. Dan Shustenka is going to go. And for working Barrett over behind the net.
Roughing will be the call. Dan Shustenka exactly doing that. Working Barrett out behind the net, and 2 minutes assessed against number 5. Another power play opportunity for Seattle. Their 4th of the evening. They've converted on one of them so far.
The thing of it is that Barrett is so big. 6'2", 180. A 19-year-old in his second year in the league. Now Kolzig's goal stick is broken. It goes off. Fans yelling, "We want a ref." But sorry, folks, you ain't going to get that one. Brad Watson, well, you might argue with his judgment about whether to continue the game on Saturday night in Seattle, and I think many people would argue with that. You can't argue about his ability as a referee. Here comes Barnes up the middle. Puck back into the Tri-City zone now as the Americans steal it away. On the power play, Barnes trying to find Nibs. He chops it on through the neutral zone. Whoop! Goodall and Kozlowski wipe each other out. But Stu Malgunas there to pick up the puck. Off the wall. Gervais, whoop, Goodall gets by Farrell. 1 minute to go. Goodall into the corner. Upended by Rennie, and the Americans clear the puck. Back into the neutral zone.
Good fall is what that was.
Yather. Gervais slaps it left across the ice to Bow. Poke checked away by Rennie, but the T-Birds will have it. 43 seconds left in the period as Shustenka's penalty will last into the second. Now Farrell there to bat it away, but right onto Goodall's stick. Goodall right side, leaves it for Bow. Top of the right circle, Bow. Shot into the slot, loose puck covered up by Kolzig.
Mitch Bow, knowing the angle right there as he goes down the right side very deep into the corner, takes a very difficult angle shot, but he realizes he has 2 T-Birds skating right down the slot just to pick up the rebound. Good job by Ole Kolzig to read that puck, cover it up, and keep it right in front. He puts the big trapper mitt over the top of it, face-off off to his left side.
Face-off will come to the right circle in the Tri-City zone. It will be Jay Schurz and Steve McNutt. Goodall and McNutt on the face-off. Right circle, Tri-City zone. 27 seconds left in the period. Face-off, they're tied up. Out front, Gervais, shot save, Kolzig, and he covered up the puck. Ole Kolzig with a big glove, getting it on Flowers' follow-up shot. And they'll face it off again.
Again, you see the point men for the T-Birds as well as they converge down in there to try to pick up the rebound. There are 5 green shirts that are in the slot area. If the Tri-City Americans could pop that puck out there just at the top of the circle, they've got a clean breakaway all the way down ice. But that's the kind of confidence that you have when you have a 2-0 lead and a 2-0 advantage in the best-of-9 series.
Face-off left circle, Tri-City zone. Up to Goodall at the point. 19 seconds left. The Americans defenders wiping out Goodall. Shot save. Kolzig goes down. Loose puck. Now there's going to be a scramble in front of the net. Shot taken by Goodall as everybody's down. Kolzig is up. He's lost his stick. Picks it back up. The Americans try to work it out of there. Goodall into the corner. Tied up by Dirksen. Gervais, 1 second, and time will end right there. At the end of 1 period of play, the score. Seattle 2. Tri-City Americans nothing. We'll be back in 2 minutes. FM? Yep. You're up. Seattle's fourth power play continues past the faceoff in the second period as Lorenz steers the puck in behind the net. Bilodeau brings it out right to Goodall. Goodall under pressure. Turns, goes left to Vince Bowe. Bowe brings it up the middle. 3-on-3. Bowe to the right side. Faces up with Sandwith. Goes into the corner. Leaves it for Stevenson. Puck chopped along the wall. Bilodeau picks it up. 10 seconds left in the power play. With the puck. Out front now. Brent Bilodeau. Goodall. Redirected puck. Knocked away by Farrell. Back into the neutral zone. Schustanka jumps out of the penalty box. Gets on Bilodeau. Puck fired back into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig will stop it. And we wind up with a two-line pass. That was a smart move for Kolzig to stop the puck beside the net. 19-19, the time remaining in the first period, or in the second period, rather, here in Tri-Cities Coliseum. Fans, remember, to Seattle Supersonic fans, we will bring you the second half of that game with Seattle and San Antonio in its entirety when the hockey game is over at the end of our post-game show. Puck shot back into the Seattle zone. Back behind the net, Brower. Brower throwing it up to the middle. Length of the ice. It'll be icing when Farrell gets to it. Farrell touches the puck. Icing the call, and we'll be back. Seattle leading 2-0. Back after this.
The support and active participation of numerous community organizations contributed immeasurably to the success of Sunfest 89. 1989 was a year of change as Sunfest had to ask for increased public support and delivered big-name family entertainment in return. Enthusiastic crowds made the 50s and 60s festival the single most successful event in Sunfest history. Celebrate this summer with the good vibrations of Sunfest. Enroll now as a VIP Gold Card member. Invest in your community. Invest in Sunfest today.
Face-off in behind the net, Kevin Malgunas. Big hit there. Puck goes into the right corner. Levens down to Gervais. Out to Brower behind the net. Brower brings it up. Bounces off his stick. Dirksen cuts it off and drives it into the crowd. Hit a stick and up into the crowd behind the net.
Well, that's a great-looking sign back there, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Up there in the T section, that's super stuff right there.
Welcome to the sassy but classy Tri-City. Right on, folks. Face-off just outside the Seattle blue line. 18:53 to go, second period, 2-0 Seattle. Puck is down. Levens shoots it into the Seattle zone. Up along the walls of Bishop. Picked up there by Farrell. Farrell along the wall, right of the net. Cut off his stick. Malgunas to Gervais. Losing it there to Spenrath. Spenrath losing it. Bang, bang, bang through the neutral zone. Levens goes down. Puck goes in beside the net right. Malgunas for the puck. Stu Malgunas turns. Brings it up the middle. Finds Zavisha. 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Zavisha, Gervais. And Dirksen stands it up at the blue line, and we get the whistle. Offside, Seattle. Well, Gervais hesitating just a second, and that's all it took.
That's all it took, yeah, as he was able to stay back behind the blue line and allow the other players to get over the line. And before the puck made its trip across there, offsides. You know, the Tri-City Americans right now, Kirk, this is a critical time in this hockey game for the Americans to get on the board. They trail 2-0 to Seattle, 18:24 remaining. In the next couple of minutes, they need to throw one in there and light that lamp.
Absolutely do, and they need the fans to really make some racket in here and get behind them. Face-off, won by McNutt. McNutt sweeps it to the left side for Sandwith. Sandwith up along the left wing boards. Chapman crushing Sandwith. Puck into the Seattle zone, picked up by Bowe. Goes left to McCausland. Rips a pass to the right side to Kozowski. Peter Kozowski brings it in, drop pass. Bilodeau, shot save, Kolzig. Puck into the right side. Bilodeau sweeps it into the corner, but it's picked up by Sandwith. Sandwith turns, fires it through the middle, length of the ice. It'll be no icing. McNutt being hooked as he goes after it. Puck comes off the wall. Degner bounces away as Seattle gets to it. Now the Americans have to clear the zone. Seattle will reset their rush. T-Birds fire through the middle. Schustanka cuts it down. Goes left now to Scott Farrell. Farrell up the left wing boards. Farrell cutting to the middle. Checked off the puck by Vince Bowe. Farrell tries to throw it out front. It goes around behind the net to McCausland. McCausland shoots it back outside the blue line. Dirksen will cut it down. Devin Dirksen goes to the left. Bounces off a stick. Finds McCausland. Goes left to Kozlowski. 2-on-1 offside. Seattle.
Well, that's something that you don't see very often so far in this contest. The fact that Seattle has had 2 consecutive offsides coming down on the rush. They may be a little complacent so far. They have really taken it to the Americans in these first 3 games in that first period. They look a little stale right now. This is a great chance for the Americans to get something going. What they need to do is get past the good defensive men of the T-Birds and get in there for some good quality shots on Danny Lorenz. Really test it.
Tri-City Americans without the services of Steve Jakes and Jeff Fancy tonight. Both of them serving suspensions. Fancy still an undetermined length. Jakes is 1 night. And Coach Rick Kozubak also serving an indefinite suspension. Quick shot on goal, saved by Lorenz as the Americans dig it out of the corner. Puck picked up by Dirksen and Nibbs. They go into the corner hard. Out along the wall now, and the T-Birds fired back out into the neutral zone. Back into the Tri-City zone it goes. Kolzig and Sandwith. Sandwith picks it up behind the net. He'll wheel. Grant Sandwith throws it out to Rennie. Sandwith is crunched. Puck shot through the middle, cut down by Bilodeau. Bilodeau cut off by a sliding Steve Rennie. Throws it out front. Vallis, right, score! Barrett, Evan Barrett. Redirects from Vallis and Bilodeau, I believe.
I believe you're absolutely right on that, too. Bilodeau bringing the puck in and actually setting things up. He gets it out to Vallis. Vallis takes a shot, and during all this, Kevin Barrett camped out right on the edge of the crease and was not touched by any of the Americans. Lindsey Vallis taking a very weak shot, actually kind of fanned on it, got enough behind it to get it down to Barrett. Barrett just puts the stick down, redirects it past Ole Kolzig. Seattle gets their 3rd marker of the evening and lead it 3-0.
16:34 to go in the 2nd period here in the Coliseum. Goodall and Levens. Levens wins the draw. Spenrath with the puck. Backhands it into the Seattle zone. Bilodeau goes in with Levens hard. Bilodeau gets crunched by Spenrath and Levens. Loose puck picked up by Reeves. Reeves shot saved. Lorenz. Farrell back to Reeves. Reeves in traffic behind the net. Puck kicked loose in behind the net now. Spenrath. Now they'll whistle it dead as Bilodeau goes down on top of the puck.
Seattle in 2nd periods in the first 2 contests have outshot the Americans 34-19. And so far, actually, I believe the Americans have outshot the T-Birds in this 2nd period so far, but the one shot that counts for the T-Birds is a goal, and they lead at 3-0.
Wasn't pretty, but it did go in.
It counts no matter how it gets in there.
They don't give points for artistic value or anything?
Not for pretty goals and not for ugly goals. It goes in there, it goes in there.
Levens and Kozlowski on the face-off. Virtue and Kevin Malgunas being released from the penalty box. Levens will face off with Kozlowski. Left circle, Seattle zone. Now linesman Jay Shears is going to dump Kozlowski, and in comes Brad Zawisza. Vallis and Bilodeau getting the assists on that last Seattle goal. They lead 3-0. Puck comes to the right point. Scherstenka down low to Spenrath. Tries to leave beside the net for Levens. A sliding Cam Brower cuts it off. Now Zawisza up along the wall. They work it by Scherstenka. 2-on-1 right. Vallis. Vallis a blast, and he missed to the long side as Kolzig came out to challenge. Loose puck. Kozlowski finds Vallis in the slot. Puck's knocked away by Reeves. Scherstenka's all over Vallis. Kozlowski and Scherstenka trade cross checks. Now down goes Vallis, but Stu Malgunas with a puck shot. Save. Kolzig. Vallis rebound. Fires it up in the air, and it bounces off a stick. Loose puck picked up by Zawisza. He fires it down low. Vallis in behind the net, being worked over by Farrell. Kolzig diving on the puck. Down goes Zawisza, and Kolzig covers up the puck.
Well, the Seattle Thunderbirds working it around the perimeter, around both circles, and looking for that open man down in the slot area. A lot of the times they've been able to do it. Tri-City Americans just following the puck right now.
Yeah, they sure are. 3-0 the score. The Seattle Thunderbirds leading the Tri-City Americans. 15:23 to go. in the second period here in the Coliseum. Next action, Game 4 of this playoff series will be tomorrow here in the Coliseum. McNutt and Goodall on the face-off. Now McNutt goes out. In comes Steve Rennie. Puck is down. Face-off won by Seattle. Simon a shot. Save Kolzik. Goes along to the left hash mark. Stevenson down to Goodall. Goodall backhands it in beside the net. But Sandwith is there for the Americans. Whoop, he dropped it back along the wall. Stevenson goes back to get it for Seattle. McNutt popping Stevenson along the wall. Now Turner Stevenson plays it in behind the net. Picked up by Sandwith. Sandwith gets it ahead to Nibs. He tried to headman McNutt, couldn't do it. T-Birds cut it off, and they'll bring it back as Virtue and Stevenson were trading jabs. Back in the Tri-City zone behind the play. Loose puck, right point. Goodall has it. Goodall back to Stevenson. He turns, shoots over the net. Goes in along the wall left, out to Rennie. And now it's chopped away from him by Koniski. Kolzik will leave it for Sandwith. Sandwith beside the net is Kevin Malgunas, and Virtue tie up in the neutral zone. Puck dumped in left of the Seattle net. Nibs hauled down by Gervais in behind the net. And Seattle will bring it up. Simon left to Barrett. Barrett to Gervais. Gervais bang it off a skate. It's overskated by everybody. Now Nibs gets to it. Backhands it out to the neutral zone. Gervais with it. Drives it into the corner. Comes around to the left side. Back to Gervais. Right in front of the net. Down goes Malgunas. Shot right in front of the crease. And we get a cross-checking penalty against the Tri-City Americans.
Scott Farrell trying to clear out the slot area. Cross-checks Kevin Malgunas in the back of the head. And Scotty Farrell will take the trip to the sin bin.
5:57 to go.
Power play number 5 for the Seattle Thunderbirds. They lead it 3-0.
And Seattle will have power play number 5. 5:57 the time of the penalty to Farrell.
Well, the WHL announced its Greyhound Player of the Month. And in the Western Division, our hats are off to
Me?
Stu Barnes. Stu Barnes is the WHL Greyhound Player of the Month.
What a striking announcement. Right side, Gervais. Shot, save Kolzik. Puck comes off the wall to Goodall. I'm sorry. Barnes and Goodall fight for the puck. Gervais with it, throws it out front. Vallis couldn't get to it. Stu Malgunas a shot. Vallis tried to redirect. Goes over the net. Gervais with it. Gervais has it steered away from him. Foot races on. Degner can't get to it as Lorenz is way out of the crease. In trouble, but the Americans can't get to it. Barnes has to go back. Barnes firing it off the wall. Cut down by Gervais. Bounced back out again. Stu Malgunas under pressure from Degner. Puck picked up by Gervais. Right side he goes to Bowe. Vince Bowe up the right wing boards now. Bowe finds Vallis. Vallis dropping it left. Gervais. Gervais tied up by Shestenka. Left. Goodall at the hash marks. Goodall back up to Stu Malgunas. He rips it in beside the net. Kolzik pokes it away. Barnes jumps on it. Barnes, his shot cut off by Malgunas at the point. He gets around Degner. Malgunas firing it into the corner for Vallis. Lindsey Vallis steps in right out in front as Gervais went down. Vallis with it, and they throw it back out front. Got by everybody. Back into the Seattle zone. Lorenz leaving it for Bowe. Goes left to Malgunas. To Goodall up along the left wing. Len Goodall in behind Stevenson. Virtue is there and fires it out for the Americans. Back for it is Bowe. Vince Bowe. Under pressure from Rennie. Almost stolen away by Nibs. Cut off the wall. Picked up by Stevenson. He carries it in, but Sandwith is there to fire it back into the Seattle zone. 22 seconds left in the penalty to Farrell. Back behind the net, Vince Bowe. Bowe brings it up himself. Pass through the middle to Goodall. Goodall under pressure by Nibs. Nibs gets him turned around, but Goodall has the puck. Goes right to Bowe. Bowe through the middle. Left Goodall. Goodall brings it up, rips it in, left of the Tri-Cities net. Kolzik will stop it and leave it back behind the net. Now plays it off the wall. Kozlowski there at the hash mark. Dumps it low to Stevenson. Stevenson, rink-wide pass right as Farrell jumps on the loose puck, but Brower's going to get back for it. Brower driving it back in front of the Americans' bench. Virtue tied up by Zavisha. Loose puck goes left. Bilodeau nipped up. Bilodeau! And Rennie has the puck. Fisher Stenka. Nice hit by Nibs on Brent Bilodeau. Now right to Rennie. Nibbs with the puck in the slot. Nibbs tied up by Broward. Tries to leave it, and the T-Birds are all over him. Now back the other way. Here comes Zawisza up the left wing. 1-on-2. Schustenka takes Zawisza out of it. Into the left corner. Zawisza with the puck. Barnes hits Zawisza. Barnes losing his headgear as Kevin Malgunas called down in front of the net. We got a whistle, high sticking and cross-checking as Virtue starts to go after referee Watson. Fortunately for Virtue, Jay Schurz was on the ball and put Virtue right on his butt, which is where he belonged. And Virtue and Kevin Malgunas will share the pine for a while.
And you're exactly right. The linesman's there to stop Terry Virtue from going over and having a few words with Mr. Watson.
Those didn't look like words on his mind.
Good thing he did that, too, because it could have turned a little bit uglier for Mr. Virtue. And right now, it's a 2-minute penalty for both Virtue and Malgunas.
Yep.
Kevin Malgunas.
Malgunas gets it for cross-checking. No, Virtue got it for cross-checking, and Malgunas for the high stick. And we should be getting you a score on the Spokane Cavaliers game in Spokane here pretty quick. As they're playing game 3 of their series. That series is split at a game apiece. And Seattle owning a 2-0 lead in this one. Barnes on the faceoff with Gervais. 3-0 Seattle. Midway in the second period. Behind the net, Sandwith. Steps right straight up. Sandwith brings it up the middle. Goes left for Spenrath, a 2-line pass.
Very close. Greg Spenrath over on the left side, looking for the feed from Sandwith well before he got to that neutral ice marker. And he's telling Turan right now, hit me while I'm right between our blue line and the red line, and we'll get it going. He knew, Greg Spenrath knew it was a 2-line pass, and he just went ahead and dumped it on into the T-Bird zone.
Faceoff will come just inside the Tri-Cities blue line. Barnes and Gervais on the draw. Virtue and Kevin Malgunas in the penalty box. They fought earlier. And they're gone for 2 minutes each. Loose puck. Barrett takes a whack at it. Dirksen cuts it off. Board pass into the Tri-City zone. Penalty coming as Dirksen and Barrett are punching away. High sticking, says referee Watson. And I think Dirksen just got ticketed for the rough. Yep, Devin Dirksen will go for
I don't think Devin Dirksen's going to be done at all. I think they're going to just whistle the Barrett penalty.
High stick.
Power play now for the Tri-City Americans. We need to get this crowd going into this.
Yeah, we do. 9:05 the time of the penalty.
Barrett, 2 minutes for high sticking at 9:55.
Well, I take that back. I thought I saw him signal roughing, but he apparently did not. Power play number 4 for the Americans. Face off, right circle, Seattle zone. McNutt with Degner and Lindsay, Schustenka and Nibbs at the point on this power play unit for the Americans. McNutt wins the draw. Lindsay along the wall. Whoop, back by the Thunderbirds, and Schustenka has it. Goes left to Calvin Nibbs. Nibbs will bring it up. Nibbs, left point. Nibbs pulls up, tried to find McNutt. Taken off his stick by Goodall. Goodall tied up, and they fire it back out. Nibbs over in front of his own bench now, under pressure from Gervais. McNutt comes back to work it back into the Tri-City zone. They'll return. McNutt left Lindsay. Lindsay, top of the slot, wheels around to the right side. Lindsay at the right hash mark. Back up front, Schustenka. Schustenka goes left, finds Nibbs. Nibbs a shot, save Lorenz. And the loose puck fired out by Goodall for Seattle. One shot again for the Americans. Shift change, Schustenka behind the net. Seattle with new penalty killers. Levens is on for the Americans. And Schustenka will bring it up with Barnes. Schustenka fires it ahead to Degner. Levens, shoot, save, Lorenz. As Levens is crashed into the boards with the T-Birds. Puck goes all the way around behind the Seattle net. Now Goodall and Spenrath collide. Goodall coming off. Barnes brings it up. Barnes blue line. Barnes tried to pass it around Bowe. Barnes tied up by Vince Bowe. Barnes having a little yap with referee Watson. And the play continues. Spenrath back to Dirksen. Dirksen goes left. Finds Reeves. Reeves right. Barnes. Barnes blue line. Shot saved. Lorenz loose puck. T-Birds right there to clear it and fire it back out again. 29 seconds left in the power play. Kolzig will leave it for Barnes behind the net. Barnes wheels. Barnes up the left side. Barnes makes the pass right to Levens. Levens, poke check away, Kozlowski. Here comes Kozlowski up the left side. Shoot, save, Kolzig. And he'll leave it for Barnes beside the net. Barnes brings it up the middle. Looks at Goodall, goes left to Reeves. Reeves straight up the middle for the Americans. Reeves beating two-man Reeves. Front of the net, but he's carrying too deep. Puck goes in behind the net. Barrett joining the play as the power play's over. Americans 0 for 4. As Spenrath rodeos Kozlowski down, and Levens dives on the loose puck. Now Lorenz there. He's taken down by Reeves, and a penalty coming. Well, it's going to be against the Americans. Lorenz leaving. Goodall and Barrett break in. Barrett shoots, just missed to the long side as Barnes hauls his guy down and sits on him beside the net. Simon takes a punch in the head from Kolzig, and the Americans finally get control of the puck.
Kyle Reeves being ticketed for the cross-check on Danny Lorenz as Danny Lorenz goes right behind his net and has his back to Kyle Reeves. Kyle Reeves comes up there with a stick way up high, and he tattoos him right in the back of the helmet, and down goes Lorenz, and away goes Kyle Reeves.
Well, that will create power play number 6 for the Thunderbirds. They need more power plays. T-Birds are 1 for 5 so far on the night. 8:25 to go in the second period here in a relatively subdued Tri-Cities Coliseum. Many empty seats, Tony. Maybe 600-700 tonight.
Yeah, this is not a sellout tonight by no means.
Face-off will come in the right circle. A little creative bookkeeping might get you one, though. Face-off right circle in the Tri-City zone. Remember, you have a base of 5,500 season tickets. Well, no, not in playoffs. You wouldn't have that, would you?
That's right.
Puck shot back out to the point. Gervais into the slot. Stevenson shot saved. Kolzig. Holy, the goalie coming up big there.
Seattle T-Birds winning the draw. Back out to Bo. Bo just tosses the biscuit over to Turner Stevenson. Turner Stevenson one-times it on Ole Kolzig. Point blank, 15 feet out in front on the left circle. And Ole, the goalie, comes up huge with the glove save. And he took it away and moved that puck completely away from the net with it. Ole, the goalie, huge save. Seattle 3, the Americans nothing. 8:20 remaining in the second period.
I stand corrected. Jay Schurz is working with Tom Cowell tonight instead of Lowell Dick.
Oh, you didn't think it? Oh, I didn't know that you didn't know that.
I'm sorry.
I would have told you that. Yeah,
Face-off left circle, Tri-City zone, Gervais and Rennie. Rennie wins the draw, but the puck is picked up by Stevenson. As Shustenka and Malgunas tied up, puck fired in behind the net. Shustenka goes down, Malgunas goes right by. T-Birds firing into the corner. Stevenson keeps it going behind the net, but Nibbs is there. And Nibbs gets seriously rid of it back into the Seattle zone. Lorenz will leave it for Malgunas with Rennie there to try to pressure him. Rennie peels off, and here comes Malgunas up the middle. Goes left to Gervais. Gervais through center ice to Stevenson. Stevenson with it, cutting it off the wall. Breaks in front of Kolzig, throws it up to Goodall. Goodall couldn't get a shot away. His barrel's all over him. Malgunas, Gervais, Boa drive, save Kolzig, rebound. Stevenson had it, couldn't get it away. Now he does. No, hits bodies. Back up to the point right. Boa's shot hits Rennie, and Rennie dumps him. Nibbs picks up the puck. Out into the neutral zone. Rennie, Nibbs and Farrell with it. Nibbs firing it into the Seattle zone, caught by Lorenz. Lorenz will sweep it off to Bo. Big hit back behind the net as Rennie goes racing in. He gets bounced off the wall, and here comes Seattle. Bo through the middle. 42 seconds left for Buffalo. Goes to Lindsay. Lindsay 1-on-2 with Ballas. Lindsay in front of the net, trying to get a shot away. No, Lorenz poked it away. T-Birds wheel back the other way. No, the Americans cut it off. Now to Bilodeau. Bilodeau up the left side. Goes in with Kevin Malgunas. Bilodeau, left side. Barnes strips it away. Here comes Barnes, 2-on-3. Barnes tried to headman Lindsay. Lindsay has the puck, but he's offside.
Oh, and Billy Lindsay wants to air out Jay Scherz on that one for calling the offsides as the puck looked like, and a misconduct has just been whistled against Bill Lindsay.
10-minute misconduct against Lindsay, and he will leave the ice at the 13-17 mark. Billy's been really frustrated. He has had, the only luck he's had in this series, Tony, has been rotten luck.
Billy Lindsay only able to get one goal so far in this series. That was on the power play. And the Tri-City Americans fans having their say.
Watson having words with Greg Spenrath. Both of them quite an animated conversation over there. Spenrath wearing the assistant captain's A for the Americans. Seattle on a power play for 18 more seconds. Puck shot into the Seattle zone. Brower behind the net. Levens all over. Brower manages to take him off the puck. Loose puck. Kicked out to Barnes. Barnes goes right, finds Virtue. Virtue one time's it, caught by Lorenz. Left behind the net for Kozlowski as Levens goes down, and we're going to get a holding call, I think, against Lorenz.
Yeah. That's your basic makeup call right there. Scott Levens going around the backside of the net. Danny Lorenz puts the stick out there, and they are going ahead, and it looks as if, are they going to call it against Lorenz? They got Cam Brower going to the box.
Well, maybe not. 13:35 the time. And that will give the Americans a power play, number 5. Seattle 1 for 6. The Americans penalty killing.
25, Cam Brower, 2 minutes for holding at 13:35.
All right. Face off top of the left circle. Reeves in the Seattle zone. 3-0 T-Birds. Tri-Cities on the power play. 5th of the night for the Americans. Into the left corner. Levens and Malgunas. Puck kicked loose around behind the net. Picked up by Gervais. Gervais trying to get rid of it. He does. Back to the neutral zone. Barnes will cruise back to get it. Stewie Barnes wheels up the right side. Barnes fires it in left of the Seattle net. Rebound comes off to Levens. Reeves in the left corner. Reeves around behind the net. Back up to Levens. Right hash mark. Levens. Dirksen back to Levens. Throws it into the slot. Reeves can't get to it. Puck comes up to Barnes at the left point. Barnes a drive. Redirected by Spenrath, but Lorenz is right there for the save. Back to Barnes. Barnes fires it down low to Reeves. Reeves into the slot. Loose puck. Levens shoots. Say, how did Lorenz save that?
My, oh my, is Danny Lorenz just playing on his head tonight. Danny Lorenz taking Scott Levens point blank as he had Scott Levens he had the wide open net, and I don't know how in the world Danny Lorenz was able to regain his balance at all and get over there to stop that, but he was able to. Danny Lorenz, the 20-year-old, very, very hot in this series so far.
Faceoff will come in the right circle in the Seattle zone. Reeves and Peter Kozlowski. Kozlowski, 20-year-old from Edmonton, as the puck is driven back out into the neutral zone. Kolzig will play it off to the right side to Dirksen as it goes all the way into the Tri-City zone. Dirksen board pass to Barnes. Barnes brings it up, drives it into the right circle. T-Birds have it. Bilodeau fires it right back out again. 53 seconds left in the penalty to Brower. Kolzig will leave it for Dirksen now behind the net. Devin Dirksen steps up. Out the left side, shovels a pass left to Levens. Levens across the blue line. Levens, backhand pass Reeves. Reeves tied up by Simon in behind the net. And Spenrath poking Simon out of the way, and we get the puck frozen as Bilodeau and Spenrath were tied up. Those are some big boys. Spenrath, Bilodeau, Simon, Levens. Darcy Simon at 6 foot and 195 pounds, the little guy in that one.
Well, the Seattle Thunderbirds with the man disadvantage are bringing 3 big guys back. On that particular rush, they had Brent Bilodeau back, they had Peter Kozlowski back, and they also had Darcy Simon back, and they had him spaced out across the entire blue line there, and one of the outside guys would take the on-rushing American to the outside, and it would keep 2 men in the middle. Good defense by the T-Birds on this penalty kill.
Face-off left circle in the Seattle zone. McNutt and Chapman will take the draw. To Nibbs at the left point. Goes right. Shostak one-timer. Degger tried to redirect it. Rebound comes off to McNutt. Nibbs Nibbs goes left, finds Rennie. Rennie goes left to Scherstenka. After he's tied up, right back left again. Nibbs, a drive. Kicked away beside the net. The Americans unable to get it redirected in as Lorenz continues to have the hot stick.
More perimeter shooting by the Tri-City Americans, and they are unable to get that puck down inside there for any kind of real close range type shot. They're having to take those shots from out there, hoping that it's going to bounce off a body or a stick and go into the net. They're trying to work it down there, but unable to. Seattle's coming up big down there and helping out Danny Lorenz.
Talking with Western Hockey League Vice President Rick Dirksen in the second intermission tonight. Americans owner Ron Dixon will be Tony's guest on the postgame show as the puck is frozen in the left corner.
Glenn Goodall down there, as well as Stuart Malgunas, and the Tri-City American fans wanting to delay a game penalty as both those players using the glove to try to cover it up down in the left corner. No call, though. They'll just bring it back out to the stick side of Danny Lorenz.
7 seconds left on the Seattle power play. McNutt and Goodall to take the draw. Left circle, Seattle zone. McNutt wins the draw, dumps it into the corner, but has trouble getting it out. Back up front. Farrell shot, save Lorenz. Power play's over. Gervais with the puck in the neutral zone finds Goodall, but it's off his skate to Farrell. Farrell will chase after it in the corner. Back up along the wall to McNutt. McNutt wheels, finds Degner left side. Terry Degner tried to get it right to Scherstenka, hit a skate instead. Back to Farrell. T-Birds on a shift change. Vallis back to mess with Farrell. Farrell behind the net. Farrell will start out. Up the left wing boards to Rennie. Whoop, Rennie almost overskated it. And Chapman has it, drives it in left of the net. Off the wall to Barrett. Barrett with it. Poked away from him. He whips it around behind the net to Kevin Malgunas. Malgunas back along the dasher board. Barrett tries to knock it down. Taken off his stick by McNutt to Degner. Degner out into the neutral zone. Rennie and Malgunas in a foot race to the corner. Rennie goes down, and the T-Birds have it back the other way. Back through the middle, it gets by Sandwich. Sandwich back in his own zone. Fenrath puts a little tattoo on Kevin Malgunas' head. I think it says Coho on the side of his helmet now. Back up to the right hash mark in the Seattle zone. Spenrath losing the puck. Puck fired back out to the neutral zone. As Bowe got on Spenrath. 3:09 to go. Second period going quickly. Quick pass up the middle to Spenrath. Seattle leading 3-0. Bowe whipping it around beside the net. Gets by Sandwich. Back into the neutral zone. It's probably going to run out of gas before it gets to the goal line. No, it won't. But the icing is washed off. Virtue has it poke checked away because Zavisha goes in after it. But Barnes has control of the puck. Barnes and Farrell behind the net. Farrell in his own zone. Nice check there by Virtue as he takes Zavisha off. Farrell with the puck at the blue line. Poke checked away by Bilodeau. Reeves jumps on it. Now Gervais and Barnes fight for it. To the hash mark. Barnes gets crunched. And the Thunderbirds fire it back out. Here comes Kozowski. Kozowski and Scherstenka one-on-one. Scherstenka ties up Kozowski. And Farrell picks up the loose puck as Kozowski goes down. And he turned around and just hammered Scherstenka. A wicked two-hander on Dan Scherstenka, but way behind the play. Referee Watson not looking that time. Dirksen cuts off the puck in the neutral zone. Seattle with it. Malgunas up the left wing boards. Stu Malgunas, a shot. Hit a stick and goes into the corner. Scherstenka and Malgunas tie up. Puck fired through the middle, finds Dirksen. Dirksen breakaway, shot missed to the right side. He was under a lot of pressure by Brower. Now Virtue with it, fires it into the slot as Dirksen is tied up by Stu Malgunas. And we got the whistle as Lorenz covers up the puck. Dirksen could do nothing as Malgunas had him completely tied up in front of the net.
Both sticks raised very high as both players, Devin Dirksen and Stu Malgunas, trying to jockey for position down in that slot area. And Dirksen was basically trying to protect his bucket on his head, as that's how high the sticks were on Malgunas as he was trying to peel it off of him. And both those players being separated and sent to their respective benches. Dirksen off the ice now, going off.
Minute 36 to go in the period. In the second period, 3-0 Seattle with the lead here in the Tri-Cities Coliseum. Rennie and Goodall on the faceoff. In the left circle, Seattle zone. Goodall wins it. Behind the net, Broward. Broward driving it up the right wing. And it's tied up along the right hash marks. Now taken off by Degner. Puck knocked around the zone, and Seattle has it. Back out across the blue line. Virtue will fire it back in. Minute 20 to go in the period. Simon with the puck. Starts out the right side. Up along the wall. Finds Malgunas. Kevin backhands it, but Virtue there to cut it off for the Americans. Malgunas punches him. Now Simon gives him a high stick in the face. And we got a whistle as the linesman steps in to dump Virtue. Well, I don't know how much Watson may or may not have seen, but Darcy Simon needs a trip to the Pine over that little deal.
And I think they're going to also whistle Terry Virtue 2 minutes for the roughing penalty. As Terry...
Hear the fans. Darcy. 18:57, the time of the penalty. I don't see Virtue going anywhere near the penalty box.
As he just left the ice.
Oh, all right.
And it will go only against Seattle.
Actually, I think that's right. Because after Virtue fought his way through Kevin Malgunas, Simon cross-checked him right in the noodle.
Number 21, Darcy Simon, 2 minutes for roughing at 18:57.
Upsettle for roughing. Power play Tri-Cities. That'll be the 6th of the night for the Americans, but they're 0-4-5. And this is one of the league's most potent power plays, but not without Brian Sackett.
Brian Sackett tonight taking on the responsibility of an assistant coach as he has the civvies on and he's standing behind the bench trying to cheer on the boys. I had a chance to talk with him today, and he's in good spirits. He's just really disappointed he can't get out there and skate around and play a little hockey.
Well, he was told by the team's dentist.
Lead to number 21 of the Tri-Cities, Terry Virtue, 2 minutes for roughing at 18:57.
Well, they even that right up, didn't they?
Yep.
1 minute to go in the second period. 1 minute.
Puck fired in behind the net. That'll wipe out the power play, and it ran right around the glass and right up into the crowd. And they'll bring it back out into the neutral zone to face it off. As
I had a chance to sit down today. It was my first opportunity to take a look at what the Central Scouting Bureau sends to these players as far as the questionnaire. There's like 200 questions that the players have to fill out.
Oh, yeah?
And it has a lot of different things about your personality and that type of thing. Watching Brian fill it out, they ask some pretty wild questions in that thing.
Stu Malgunas, right side to Vince Bowe. Kolzik dumps the puck into the corner. Barrett firing it around to the right side. Dirksen there, but he loses it to Kozlowski. But Kozlowski losing it to Barnes. Barnes, headman pass for Reeves. Reeves just gets wood on it into the Seattle zone. Reeves and Stu Malgunas. Puck in behind the net. Dirksen tries to jump on Gervais. Loose puck picked up by Gervais. 4-on-3 up the right side. Peter Kozlowski pulls up, dumps it into the Tri-City zone. Barrett goes in hard after it. Barrett out along the wall, cut down by Dirksen. Dirksen rips it to the right side. Whoop. Tried to headman Barnes, and Gervais is there. Farrell with the puck. Gets a little pick from Scherstenka. Wheels around him, goes to the blue line. It's poke checked away by Vic Gervais. 6 seconds left. Scherstenka in his own zone. Dan Scherstenka around behind the net. He'll bring it up to the blue line. And time runs out with a score at the end of the second period. Seattle 3, Tri-Cities nothing. Face-off in the Tri-Cities Coliseum. Puck goes into the Seattle zone. Back up along the wall left side, Gervais. Gervais breaks in. Right side shot. Malgunas, he scored. It was a 2-on-1, and Gervais puts it right on Kevin Malgunas' stick.
Pretty play by the Seattle Thunderbirds as they were able to do just that. The odd man rush over the blue line, go in on Ole Kolzig. And Malgunas picks it up. Stuart Malgunas.
No, it was Kevin.
Kevin Malgunas. Yeah. Boy, you got the K's and the S's there. I can't see him from up here, but it was Kevin Malgunas, his brother. And he was able to pop it home past Ole Kolzig.
Comes at the 18-second mark. Brad Zavisha also getting an assist. You know that the Seattle Thunderbirds leading the Americans by a score of 4-0 now early in the third period here in the Coliseum. Americans bring the puck around behind the net, out to Nibbs. Right, Rennie to Dirksen. Puck goes in behind the Seattle net. Lorenz in traffic, fires it out along the board to Kozowski. He gets buried. Nibbs tries to shoot it away, and it's knocked down. Down goes Nibbs and Barrett, and the T-Birds work it out into the neutral zone. Cut down there by Sandwith. Sandwith stolen away by Barrett. Barrett one-on-one. Can't beat Scherstenka, and Nibbs has the puck along the wall. Bilodeau with it. Out in the neutral zone. Drives it back into the Tri-City zone. Scherstenka goes behind the net. Scherstenka pulls up with the loose puck. Brings it up the middle. Goes to the right side to Rennie. What? Stolen away by Chapman. Chapman, left hash mark. Into the slot. Point blank. Barrett goes to the backhand. Has to chop it around into the corner left of the net. Now comes to Kozowski as Barrett is hauled down by Rennie. Scherstenka picking up the loose puck. Plays it out to Calvin Nibbs. Nibbs out into the neutral zone. Dirksen racing after it. But Stu Malgunas has it. Malgunas gets popped along the wall. Stevenson, but he put it right on McNutt's stick. McNutt breaks in, shot save Lorenz. Rebound comes off to Brower. Lorenz almost had to make a save on Cam Brower as he nearly mishandled the puck. Farrell to Bowen along the wall. Lorenz is down and catches the puck as Bowen throws it in. Lorenz fell down.
Oh, he didn't fall down. He was taken down by number 10,
Torpedo.
Brad Loring.
Well, so the penalty wouldn't, the goal wouldn't have counted even if Bowen been able to get it in.
That's right.
As the penalty comes at the minute 43 mark. Bradley, ping, 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 Loring. The Torpedo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Scott Farrell having a word with referee Watson. Lorenz must have really been upended. It was away from the play.
A 10-minute misconduct at 1:43.
Really? Loring gets a misconduct is all. So there's no power play. Goodall and McNutt on the face-off. McNutt gets it to Farrell. Farrell feathers it into the corner left of the Seattle net. Comes around to Malgunas. He drives it off the wall, back into the neutral zone. Farrell races back for it. Farrell in his own zone, beside the net. Farrell under pressure from Stevenson. Pulls up. Now Farrell will bring it out. Kaniski gets on Farrell, but Farrell gets the puck ahead to McNutt. McNutt into the left circle. Steve McNutt around behind the net. And Simon takes him off. McNutt able to throw it out in the slot. Bowen turns, shoots. Puck save out front. Goodall has it. Goodall skated off the play. Bowen has it. Bowen driving it back into the Seattle zone. In behind the net is Stu Malgunas. Out to Goodall. Goodall up the left wing. 2-on-1, but Bowen ties up Goodall. Goodall, loose puck though, picked up by Zavisha. He's tied up. Degner pokes the puck loose. Bowen with it. He gets dumped as he fires it out into the neutral zone. Takes a swat at Stevenson. Referee Watson has to jump over Bowen's stick. And Simon brings it up along the wall, right side into the Tri-City zone. Remember, Seattle playing without Peter Nedved tonight. The Americans without Steve Jakes. Of course, Nedved's not really important to Seattle. He has, what, how many goals? Puck in behind the Tri-Cities net. Kolzig, whoop, has to hustle out, poke it away. Sandwith now trying to work it ahead to Spenrath along the wall. Out to Levin. Bilodeau, a shot, scored! Brent Bilodeau! As let's see who they credit with the goal. Seattle's fifth at the 3:13 mark. $5-0. Seattle leading the Tri-City Americans in Game 3. Bilodeau getting the goal. An unassisted goal for Bilodeau, I believe. And time of the goal, 3:13. On the face-off, Ballas grabs the puck, knocks Virtue down, and the puck goes in behind the Americans' net. Picked up by Farrell. Farrell straight up the middle, goes left to Nibbs. Nibbs backhanding it out in the neutral zone. It's knocked down there by Vince Bowe. Bowe backs it into the Tri-City zone. Farrell with it beside the net. Scott Farrell sweeps it out right side, over skated there by Dirksen. Shot across in front of the net. Knocked up off the glass by Kolzig. Nibbs to Dirksen. Bowe with it, back in his own zone. Vince Bowe with the puck. Dirksen puts him down, but Lorenz there to bat the puck off the wall. They get it out in the neutral zone. Rennie with it. Fires it right back into the Seattle zone. Lorenz will leave it for Bowe. In his own end, Vince Bowe out the left side to Kosowski. He fires it up into the air. Comes down in front of Farrell. Farrell finds Nibbs left of along the left wing boards. Nibbs ahead to Rennie. Rennie around Bilodeau. Penalty coming as Bilodeau cross-checks Rennie. And then Bowe gets a little shot from Rennie on his way. But the cross-check will go against Brent Bilodeau.
Power play opportunity now for the Tri-City Americans as they still have the big goose egg sitting up on the scoreboard. 15:43 remaining in this third period of play. I believe that is the Americans' 7th power play coming up. Offered on all 6 other opportunities.
Nope, 5. It'll be the 6th.
Their 6th one, you're right.
I thought we had another one, but then the extra penalty was whistled. Power play number 6.
To answer your question about Peter Nedved, while I was digging it up through the stats here, Peter Nedved finished out the regular season with 65 markers, 79 assists, 144 points.
And he has a goal and 4 assists in the 2 games so far.
2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points.
I lied. Puck thrown out of the corner, or kept in the corner now by Levens, and we get a whistle from behind the play as Nibbs and Cam Brower tie the puck up along the wall. They'll face it off in the left circle, Tri-City zone. Don't forget the entire second half of the Seattle-San Antonio game coming up on KTCR immediately following tonight's game. We should have, Tiffany Luganville should have for us the score on the Spokane Kamloops. Oh, we got one.
And it's Kamloops 1, Spokane nothing in the first period.
Whoa. Face off left circle in the Seattle zone. Levens now gets the thumb, and Barnes will step in. Power play Tri-Cities. Barnes and Dirksen at the point. Barnes takes a draw. Off the wall to Dirksen, a shot, saved. Loose puck in the slot. It hit Goodall's stick. Lorenz poked it away and left it right in the slot, but the T-Birds able to clear it out. Now Barnes with it. Rink wide pass right. Reeves in the slot. Drops it for Levens. Levens, Spenrath, collide in the slot. A shot. No, Dirksen losing it. Goodall turns and just dumps it into the Tri-City zone. Barnes will go back to get it. Stu Barnes back behind the net. Barnes up the left wing. Kicks it off to Reeves. Reeves for Levens. Levens and Spenrath go in and offside.
And it was just barely offside as Greg Spenrath comes in on the left-hand side. The puck was redirected past the blue line. And there was referee Tom Gowell to make the call. Offside, bringing it right back outside the Seattle T-Bird blue line over on the right side.
Kosowski and Levens on the face-off. Puck is dropped, and Levens steers it out to the neutral zone. Dirksen driving it into the right corner. Lorenz will leave it for Simon. Simon turns, saw a guy out in the concourse at the intermission, Tony, with a T-shirt on, or a sweatshirt on, that said, "I survived Seattle," as Spenrath puts the lumber to Kosowski.
And we get an interference call against Greg Spenrath. Another power play now in 59 seconds for the Seattle T-Birds. And just a little extra note on that. I survived the 2 games up there in Seattle. I saw Lori Powell earlier in the F section down here. She has a shirt that has shotgun blasts through it and 338 through it as well. And it also says she survived.
Seventh power play for the Americans coming up. For Seattle coming up as Lindsay carries the puck into the Seattle zone, but he's tied up. Now Bo with it along the wall. Bo turns. 3-on-2 as Vallis catches up. Vallis right circle. Vallis carries it into the corner, throws it into the slot. Kolzig gets wood on it. It comes off the wall to Lindsay. Lindsay out to McNutt. McNutt tries to drop it for Bill Lindsay. Lindsay offside. McNutt saves it, though. Back to Sherstenka. Dan Sherstenka steps to the right. He's being hooked by Kozlowski. Kozlowski steals it away. Or Zavisha, rather, carries it in front of Kolzig. Kolzig poke checks it away and covers up. Right in front of Lindsay Vallis. Now Kolzig puts a little lumber on Vallis, and Lindsay does a El Divo. Oh, come on, Lindsay, for heaven's sake.
They teach that, don't they? That is just, I've seen all these guys do that.
Go down pretty easy, folks.
They sure do.
I mean, no question, it's smart play that when a guy whacks you and it looks like you're going down anyway, to go ahead and make it look good. But that was pathetic.
They handed out the Oscars last night.
You know, that pretty girl that brought the Oscar up onto the stage was from Richland.
That's exactly right. You didn't mention that, yeah?
Face-off won by the Tri-City Americans. Here comes Nibbs up the left side. Nibbs, blue line, a shot! Score! Boy, when he gets that shot going, Tony, that can be good news to the Americans.
Calvin Nibbs coming down on the left-hand side. The big left winger, he puts it on the bottom of the stick from about 45 feet out, and he breaks it. And it goes way high to the outside, up over the glove shoulder of Danny Lorenz. It settles back in there, and it lights the lamp. The Tri-City Americans break the goose egg, but they still trail Seattle by 4 goals. It's Seattle 5, and the Americans 1.
And the Seattle power play is just about to start. Bull making the backhand pass to Gervais. Goes left to Vallis. Vallis blue line. Power play's over. Vallis tried to drive it in. Loose puck. Picked up by Vallis. Goes in for the left hash mark. Nibbs jumps on him. Nibbs and Virtue. Rennie getting an assist on Nibbs' goal. Puck loose beside the net. Now Virtue there. Backhands it out along the hash mark right. Gervais with it. Gervais up to Bilodeau. Bilodeau drives one in. Comes down on Barnes' stick. Barnes and Rennie breaking up ice, but Barnes is tied up by Bilodeau. Puck goes in behind the Seattle net. T-Birds on the power play. Bilodeau with it. Whacked by Barnes. Keeps control of the puck. Nibbs gets on it. Nibbs lays it off to Rennie. Along the wall. But Rennie's tied up by Vince Bow. Puck shot back into the Tri-Cities net. Backboard is Virtue. 6 seconds left in the penalty. Rennie brings it up. Rennie fires it in. Rennie putting Stu Malgunas down for his trouble. Power play number 7 for Seattle ends. T-Birds are 1 for 7 on power plays tonight. Much better penalty killing as Kozlowski carries it into the Tri-City zone. Kozlowski and Barnes both go down. Zavisha with the puck. Goes in the front of the slot. They score. Kevin Malgunas. How quick that turns around.
A very difficult angle, and I'm not sure if they may not give that one to Bradley Zavisha, Kirk, from being down in the corner. All he tried to do was center the puck, and that flipped up off, I believe, an American stick and popped right in behind Oleg Kolzig. He had no chance whatsoever on it. They're going to review the tape on that one.
I think it's got to go to Malgunas.
And we're going to see if the tip-in was put in.
Off-ice official Barry Kilburn calling down below.
A very weird-looking goal.
Tell you what, the T-Birds have had their share of those in this series. 7:37 the time of the goal. Sandwich carries the puck in beside his own net. It is 6-1 Seattle. Degner.
At 7:35.
It went to Bradley Zavisha.
Unassisted. Puck's tied up.
And no, there is 19. Kozlowski was also involved in it. And number 7.
Puck shot back into the Seattle zone and covered up.
Vince Bow as well. They get
Kozlowski and Bow.
Yeah.
All right. Full strength goal. at the 7:37 mark. Play was stopped beside the Seattle net. They'll face it off left circle, Seattle zone, as you look on from center ice. Jerry Johansson coaching behind the bench, his first Western Hockey League playoff game as a coach.
That's right. Next action for the Tri-City Americans tomorrow night. Game number 4 of this best-of-9 semifinals in the Western Division. The Americans and Seattle go at it again. Game time, 6:45 here on AM 13.
Goodall and Rennie. Shot taken from the point by Sherstenka. Save Lorenz. Loose puck picked up by McCausland. Drives it through the middle. Rennie gets to it. Sherstenka will have it at the left point. Another drive. This time around behind the net to the right. To Nibbs. Nibbs throwing it into the slot for Bowen. Bowen can't get anything done with it. Comes off to Vallis. Vallis wheels. Fires it out to the middle. Big hit on Vallis. Vallis goes down. And Bowen, and the Americans with the puck as they find Bowen, but Vallis there to break it up. Bowen gets crunched. Vallis a drive. Kolzig to save. Kolzig slaps it out along the dasher board to Bowen. Bowen hit by McCausland. McCausland tried to find Vallis behind the net. It comes off the wall to Barnes. Barnes and Rennie back in behind the net. Barnes shoots a pass out to the neutral zone. Gervais cuts it down. Nibbs takes a big hit from Vallis. Boy, Vallis got crunched over there. Puck fired back into the Tri-City zone. Barnes back for it. 6-1 Seattle. Barnes putting a move on Zawisza. Goes to the left side. Barnes beating Kevin Malgunas. Barnes out to Spenrath. Shot! Hit the post! They had Lorenz beaten. Puck comes up to Spenrath. I don't know how many times we've seen that either. Now Spenrath is having a little go with Kevin Malgunas, and Trans Sandwith finding the opportunity to, or Barnes maybe, dumping Zawisza. Zawisza and Barnes having a little yip-yap. Now Zawisza goes down. And there goes Sandwith! Right in front of the Americans bench. Barnes and Zawisza. And Dirksen goes in. Oh, Dirksen looked like he might have taken a swat at the line from there. Gee, I hope not. 6-1 the score. Seattle leading.
There was some excitement there as both Turan Sandwith and Devin Dirksen going after Bradley Zawisza after Zawisza wanted to pick something with Stewie Barnes. That was enough of that nonsense.
Now Spenrath is going to go. And let's see who else. Is Barnes going to go too?
No, he's trying to get Terry Virtue out of the way since Terry Virtue is not the man that can talk about this.
Kevin Malgunas is gone. Sandwith may be gone.
Yeah, so he's being escorted. They're going to open that up. 3 Tri-City Americans in the box.
Sandwith. All this happy fun and games comes at the 9:25 mark. While they clean up the ice, we'll take a brief timeout. Seattle leading 6-1. Back after this on AM 1340.
Just a little bit tired of loud music, cover charges, high prices for drinks, and then receiving poor service on top of it? At RF McDougall's, you won't have these problems because there's never a cover charge, and cocktails start at just $1.50. With over 40 different beers available, prices start as low as $1. And at RF McDougall's, you'll find the friendliest staff in town. Next time, make it RF McDougall's, your after Coliseum events meeting place.
They're going to be making the switch with the netminders. They are. Donnie Glishan is coming in for Ole Kolzig.
That comes at the 9:25 mark as well. And I still haven't heard an announcement as referee Brad Watson is over there having quite a discussion with Shea Kilburn. They
was this very similar up there in Seattle there, Kirk, where there were several Tri-City Americans in the penalty box?
The atmosphere is nothing like it was in Seattle, but yeah, you know, it's a little weird out there.
Americans, number 1, Don Blishen.
Blishen in goal for the Americans.
Area penalties for the Seattle Thunderbirds, number 22, Kevin Malgunas, 2 minutes for roughing. For the Tri-City Americans, number 7, Turan Sandwith, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 27, Greg Spenrath, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 9, Devin Dirksen, a 10-minute misconduct at 9:25.
6-1, Seattle leading the Tri-City Americans. The net result of all that fun is that Turan Sandwith's 2-minute roughing minor goes up on the board. Power play number 8 for the Thunderbirds. And Don Blishen steps in between the pipes for the Tri-City Americans. Now they're bringing the head of Coliseum Security out.
Well, I believe what they're going to do, if I remember seeing that check that Lindsey Ballas took down into the corner, I believe it snapped one of those. I thought I saw something fly off. I believe it snapped one of the top of the.
They're bringing Brian Rayberg out onto the ice. Yeah, he has another clip.
That's what it was.
He's apparently tall enough to fix it. So that's the situation there. That's going to take a minute. We'll take a brief timeout. 6-1 Seattle on AM 1340 KTCR.
You want to have a custom stereo system installed in your home but don't know where to start? Call Quicksilver Audio in Richland. They'll put symphonies and concerts where they've never been before in bathrooms, kitchens, showers, spas. Environments where size is a factor and high fidelity is appreciated. Quicksilver Audio uses equipment specifically engineered for home installation. Call Quicksilver today for a free consultation. Quicksilver Audio, 616 The Parkway in Richland.
Hello, I am the Bear from the Bear Mart in Kennewick, and I have more cars than I know what to do with. I have big ones and small ones and tall ones and short ones. So come on down to the First in Washington in Kennewick and come and see us. Get yourself Bear Smart, Bear Mart.
The vanishing beauty of the Great Northwest, marred by pollution, vandalism.
Get yourself Bear Smart, Bear Mart.
Of course, we have here at the Coliseum, it's 6-1 Seattle in Spokane. The Kamloops Blazers leading the Spokane Chiefs by a score of 3-0. In our series, the T-Birds with a 2-0 lead. The Seattle Kamloops series split at a game apiece. You're listening to Tri-City Americans Hockey on KTCR.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We at Columbia Cable are dedicated to bring our subscriber family the very best cable entertainment we can deliver. Columbia Cable, we're tuned into you.
It gets underway with it. Well, one thing about it, you can say the Americans fans may be plenty teed off about the way they were treated in Seattle, and rightly so, and we have encouraged them editorially to let the mayor of Seattle and Seattle Visitors Bureau know about that. You can't say they left their sense of humor at home. They have made the point pretty clearly to the good folks from Seattle about what they think.
That's great.
The signs have just been incredible.
They have been really good around here tonight.
Goodall and Rennie on the face-off. Seattle's power play, but Barnes steals the puck at center ice. Barnes dropping it back to Farrell. Farrell up along the wall to Rennie. Rennie in traffic. Whoop, losing it to Goodall. Goodall and Rennie fight for the puck. Picked up by Gervais. Gervais gets it off to Bo. Bo brings it up, finds Goodall, blue line. Goodall, top of the left circle. Goodall goes to the right side. Goodall, a drive, missed to the wide side. Comes off the wall to Goodall. Goodall leaves it for Gervais. Gervais throws it out in the slot. Poke checked away. Blishen just getting wood on it. Now Stevenson tied up by Rennie. Stevenson losing his stick. And Scherstenka has a whack at it. No, Goodall from the left side. Goodall with the puck. Goodall shot, hit the post. Comes right back as Blishen squeezed him off at the pipe. Back up front now. Here comes a shot from Bo. Scored, Vince Bo. Redirected, and Blishen had 0 opportunity. I don't know who will get the score on that one.
I think they're going to go ahead, and I believe Vince Bowe will probably end up getting it.
I thought it was redirected, but may have hit an American stick.
Turner Stevenson was the closest T-Bird down at the net at the time, and it will either be Bowe or Stevenson. It may have been redirected, as you say, Kirk, by a Tri-City American stick. If that's the case, Vince Bowe will pick up the goal, and it will be Seattle's 7th. They now lead by 6 with 9:40 remaining in this third period. It's 7-1 Seattle.
McNutt on the face-off with Chapman. Chapman winning the draw. Loose puck stolen away by Nibbs. Nibbs, McNutt down the slot. Shot save. Lorenz comes off to Simon. McNutt ties up Simon. Bowe from Goodall, the goal. Puck goes into the corner left. Bowen in there trying to tie up his man. Can't. Puck as Bowen and Simon tie up. The play is frozen.
A power play goal besides. That is the T-Bird's 2nd power play on the evening.
Faceoff will come in the left circle in the Seattle zone.
Tri-City Americans trying to get something going here. 9:17 remaining. They need 6. Count them, 6 goals to tie. And again, this is Western Hockey League, Kirk. It can happen, but this is playoff hockey as well.
Faceoff left circle, McNutt. So far, the Americans played their best playoff game in Seattle the last time they were in Seattle during the regular season. Puck shot out into the neutral zone. Barnes goes after it. Barnes back in his own zone, leaves it for Nibbs. Nibbs turns, tries to find Bowen, but Simon is there to fire it right back into the Tri-City zone. Virtue with it. Both teams at full strength now. Puck comes straight up the middle. Virtue losing it to Bowen. Bowen headmans McNutt. McNutt can't get to it. Simon with it for Seattle back in his own zone. Simon turns, fires it to the left side. Big hit on him by Virtue. Haven't seen Virtue in a while. Puck back into the Tri-City zone. Icing when Barnes gets to it. Nope, washed off. Barnes takes a big hit from Barrett. In around behind the net, Nibbs. Nibbs up the left wing boards. Nibbs fires it in left of the Seattle net. Rebound comes right off beside the net, but Lorenz will stop it and dish it off to Kosowski. Kosowski up along the wall to Barrett. Barrett with the puck, red line, headman pass for Zavisha. Stolen away by Farrell, finds McNutt. McNutt through the middle, poke checked away by Barrett. Shot back into the Tri-City zone. Blishin leaving the puck for Sandwith. Sandwith behind the net, pulls up short. Sandwith steps out front, under pressure from Zavisha. Gets it ahead to Reeves. Kyle Reeves, Reeves blue line. Reeves tries to split the defense. He does. Leaves it for Levens in front of the net. Levens shoots, misses. Just to the left side as Vallis ties up Levens. Loose puck. What a play by Vallis to keep Levens from getting that one to go. Now it'll be icing as Farrell goes back to get it. Icing the call. 7:44 to play. 7-1 Seattle. Back after this.
It seems you've been going to a lot of trouble looking for cable programming information.
Why?
I don't know. But now there's Preview Guide.
Excuse me, pardon me, beg your pardon?
Preview Guide, your complete source for up-to-the-minute cable program listings. Actually, it's an unprecedented opportunity to preview upcoming programs.
Terrific.
Get a glimpse of the future on Preview Guide.
Face-off right circle into Seattle zone. It is Levens and Gervais. Levens wins it. Shot. Reeves missed to the short side. Puck comes off the wall. Barnes slapping it back in. 7:38 to go in the hockey game. Levens tying up Tom Sprague in the corner. Now it goes to Reeves. Reeves throws it out in the slot. Lorenz there to cut it off. Farrell diving in from the right side, but Lorenz cutting off Reeves' backhand pass before he can get it done.
Danny Lorenz reads the puck so well, and he's a 20-year-old experienced netminder. And that, if young goaltenders have a chance here this evening and are listening to the broadcast and watching him, look at how he controls his rebounds. He does not allow any rebounds to come out. Another thing is, too, is that he also has great peripheral vision. He can look out there and see the white sweaters coming at him. He'll just cover it up, and there won't be an extra shot at all.
Puck kick to the right side. Lloyd scores! Lloyd! Off the face-off, Jason Bowen finds Loring down on the right circle. Brad Loring just cranks it up, and it whistles right by Danny Lorenz into the net. And the Americans get their second
second marker of the evening. They still trail it, though, by 5. It's 7-2 Seattle with 7:26 remaining in this third period.
Number 10, Brad Loring. The assist number 29, Jason Boone. And number 23, Steve Reddy.
Puck back into the Tri-City zone. 7-2 Seattle. Puck up along the wall. Loring. Big hit by Loring on Barrett. Puck out into the neutral zone. Again, Farrell with it. Farrell goes left for Bowen. Poke checked away. But Barnes is there to backhand it into the Seattle zone off the wall. Brower taking it into the right corner. Brower firing it out into the neutral zone. Back for Sherstenka. Dan Sherstenka backing up in front of his own net. Finds Rennie. Rennie goes left for Barnes, but Barnes is tied up by Stevenson and can't get to the puck. Now the Thunderbirds. Brower to Stevenson. He turns. Here comes the rush. Head man past Chapman. Chapman left circle. Pulls up under pressure. Sherstenka mashes him, and here comes Barnes. Barnes with Loring. Barnes goes to the left side, but Loring is offside.
Could not time what Stewie Barnes was trying to do right there at the center of the blue line. And on the left wing, there goes Brad Loring sailing in. Stewie Barnes picking it up, trying to do something with the Seattle defender. Timing was not there. Offside, Tri-City brings it back out to the right side of the Seattle blue line in the neutralized area.
Well, the Americans have had plenty of chances to give up tonight, Tony, and they have not done that.
Exactly. The Tri-City Americans have really tried very hard tonight, and they can still pop a few more markers in before this contest is all.
They've also had lots of chances for chippy play, and they haven't done that either. Shows a lot of character. Puck fired in left of the net. Back for is Brower. Brower wheels around, fires it up the wall, left Kozowski. Cut off there by Rennie, but Goodall's there to pick it up for Seattle. And Virtue takes it right off of Goodall's stick. Now they race in after it left in the corner. Barrett bangs it off the glass, but Spenrath has it. Spenrath behind the net. Goodall all over him. Ooh, Spenner throws it up into the slot. Held in by Sandwith and then fired back out. Whoop, Vallis in a foot race with Virtue. Vallis off the wall, right side at the hash mark. Down low to Kozowski. He slaps it around behind the net, and a penalty coming as Vallis goes down.
I believe you're going to see Greg Spenrath, and I think Greg Spenrath has just been told to get off the ice. I saw him pointing over to the bench area. We're going to see if that's the way he's going to be going.
14:02, the time of the penalty. It'll be Seattle's 9th power play.
And an elbowing call will be what Brad Watson whistles over there, and that's what exactly has happened. Greg Spenrath has just been escorted off the ice. A 5-minute major penalty assessed against Greg Spenrath.
I guess I should learn to shut up, shouldn't I?
Penalty to number 27, Greg Spenrath, a 5-minute major for elbowing at 14:02.
Which means the Americans will be killing penalties for all but 58 seconds of the period. And on a major, as many as go in, it doesn't end. Goodall a shot, kicked away by Blushman. Out now to Simon, a shot by Goodall. Rebound, score! Well, that one will go to
Lindsey Vallis, I believe. Yes. 3 shots on the power play so far. It took them 13 seconds to get 3 shots on Donnie Blishen. The third one counts. Lindsey Vallis gets the marker. Power play goal. Seattle's 8th of the evening. The Americans still have the deuce on the board. And that is starting to send the fans to the exit.
14:15, the time of that goal. 8-2 Seattle leading. Spenrath getting a 5-minute major for elbowing Vallis. Goodall getting the assist. And Simon getting the assist. Now Gervais to the blue line. Gervais right. Malguna shot save Blishen. Blishen steers it behind the net for Sandwich. Zavisha pops him. Lindsey trying to find a lane. Can't hit Kevin Malgunas. Malgunas shot loose puck beside the net. Malgunas shot once, twice. And Blishen finally covers it up as Sandwich winds up sitting on Malgunas. And Zavisha is down beside the net. And he gets up and trades shoves with Virtue. Now Virtue having a little yap with Brad Zavisha.
Add 2 more shots to the Seattle T-Bird total on this power play. That's 5 now that they have on Donnie Blishen. Hey, Kirk, it's only 32 seconds old.
I know. Face-off left circle, Tri-City zone. 5:26 remaining in the third period. Gervais and McNutt. Gervais wins the draw. Up to Pryor, one-timer saved by Bush, and it's kicked into the corner. Kevin Malgunas and Gervais going after it. Virtue in a scramble. McNutt digs it loose. Here comes McNutt. McNutt. Headman pass Lindsay. Breakaway Lindsay. Lindsay backhand. No. He was taken off of it. Nice play there by Tom Sprague. T-Birds wheel and fired back up the middle. 3-on-1. No, 2-on-1. 2-on-2. There's a shot taken by Gervais. Hits skates up front. Glishin being held out of the crease by Zawisza. Now Virtue goes over to get rid of Zawisza. Can't have that. As McNutt chops at the puck, but now goes to Sandwith in the right corner. He airs it up, fires it into the Seattle zone. Lorenzo run it down and leave it for Vince Bowe. Bowe turns, brings it up the right, goes rink wide left. Barnes there to cut it down, but Barnes catches Reeves offside, and the face-off will come just outside the Seattle blue line.
Nice play by Stewie Barnes, though, as he is able to pick up the errant pass by the Seattle Thunderbirds at center ice, was able to kick the puck ahead and move it towards the blue line. He gained the blue line, but on the other side of it, inside the T-Bird zone, number 17, Kyle Reeves, trying to skate back as fast as he could, and he was just unable to get by there. Face-off outside the Seattle Thunderbird blue line.
Chapman and Reeves on the face-off. Chapman wins it. Simon through the middle. Simon right, and trying to headman Turner Stevenson. He just about beheaded him, literally. Back in behind the net. Stevenson picks it up short side, but Kaniski couldn't redirect it. Now comes off to Reeves. Kaniski was right there, just couldn't get the stick down. Now Stevenson in the corner. Around to Al Kaniski. Kaniski around Barnes. Tries to get it back to Stevenson. Can't. Barnes has it now. Reeves. Reeves along the wall. Kyle Reeves cuts to the middle. Reeves has to pull up for help. Almost loses it to Stevenson. Gets it to Sherstenka, who fires it back through the middle. Penalty coming against, I think Stevenson is going to buy the penalty here.
And also Kyle Reeves will be escorted.
Yep, sure is.
Both those two were playing cat and mouse down in the American zone, and you could see that one starting to develop. And right there watching the whole thing was referee Brad Watson. Both men take a bench.
Actually, that turned out to be mouse and mouse, and referee Watson played the cat on that one, I think.
That's right.
Here comes the announcement from Tom Lathan momentarily, as Tony Ott gets ready to go to the Founders Club.
Turner Stevenson, 2 minutes for high sticking. Tri-Cities penalty to number 17.
Ballas a breakaway, shoots, misses.
For a stick infraction at 16:07.
And the puck out into the neutral zone. Ballas goes to pick it up. Starts along the wall. Farrell ties him up. In behind the net goes Virtue. Virtue turns. Here come the Americans. 2:34 remaining in the major penalty to Spenrath. Left nib. Nibs a crank in it. This time it hits Tom Sprague's stick and rips it right out of his glove. Puck back up along the wall. Farrell holds it in. Back in the Seattle zone. Barrett goes after it. Nibs gets poked by Sprague as Ballas has the puck now. Ballas to the middle. Lindsey Ballas, first round draft pick of Montreal, gets crunched by Calvin Nibs. And the puck picked up by Sandwith. Sandwith cutting to the left side. Sandwith up the left wing, boards around Nibs. Sandwith takes it in, backhands it into the slot. Simon cuts him off, and here come the Thunderbirds. Minute 55 left in the penalty. There'll be about a minute left when the penalty's over. In behind the net goes Barnes. Long shift for Barnes. Puck comes off the wall to Zawisza. He drives it back down, and Kaniski has it, but we get a penalty against the Americans, I believe, as Zawisza got crunched. And Steve Rennie is going to take the long walk off the short dock. And 17:20 the time of that penalty on Rennie. I'm going to have a calculator to count these all up.
Steve Rennie, 2 minutes for roughing at 17:20.
Faceoff will come in the right circle. Tri-City zone as Rennie goes to the penalty box. Does the thing any veteran player would do. He tells the rookie Loring to get off the chair. Face-off right circle in the Tri-City zone. Zavisha and Nibbs to take the draw. Nibbs wins it. Loose puck picked up by Kevin Malgunas. Up to the right point, Brower goes down to Zavisha at the right hash mark. Zavisha shot save, Blishin. Rides the dasherboard all the way around, and another penalty coming as the T-Birds go back for it. Lorenz is pulled. Blishin just standing there like, what next? Here comes Simon, brings it up. Seattle net is empty. Blishin gets ready. Puck goes left. Good all. Seattle with the extra attacker. Into the slot. Kevin Malgunas. Zavisha on the doorstep. Band on it. Throws it back up front to Simon. Simon from the right point. Another penalty coming. And it's 5-on-3 now. Puck shot in behind the net. Zavisha one more time. Zavisha with it. Finally, we got the whistle of Zavisha and Schustenka trade punches. And referee Watson's going to gas both of them. Now Virtue wants to go with Simon, and Virtue's going to be ticketed there for taking a run at Simon. And Watson just says, you out of here. Terry Virtue's going to take the noon balloon. Well, Virtue's gone under the escort of linesman Jay Schurz. And referee Watson will assess the penalties. We'll take a brief timeout. Seattle leading 8-2. Back after this at AM 1340.
Looking for a computer and want the best buy around? It's not at a warehouse. It's not at a discount store. It's not even mail order. It's at Kennewick Computer. Like our 386SX computer system with 40 megabyte hard drive and crisp VGA color graphics. You could mail order this from CompuLabs for $25.39 or buy locally from Kennewick Computer for just $19.95. More features, better service, less cost, financing available at Kennewick Computer next to Greg's Furniture in Columbia Center North.
All right, Zavisha gets 2 minutes for roughing. Virtue gets 2 minutes for slashing and a 10-minute misconduct. I'm out of room on this page. About a week and a half in penalties have been assessed in this period. 8-2, Seattle leading. It's 5-on-3. Seattle with the man advantage, with the two-man advantage. Barnes, Schustenka, and Nibbs, the penalty killer. Stevenson, as Seattle wins the draw. Now Sprague goes left to Barrett. Barrett one times it beside the net. Comes off the wall to Barnes. Barnes called down by Stevenson, and Barnes lands on the puck. Watson puts the whistle in his mouth, says that'll be a face-off right there. Barnes went down hoping for the call, didn't get it. Fans in kind of a cranky mood here with referee Watson. But minute 38 to go. Barnes wins the draw, slaps it out to the neutral zone. Barrett with the puck. Comes up the right wing. Kevin Barrett driving into the Tri-City zone. Off the wall to Chapman. Chapman back up front. Kaniski to the top of the left circle. A shot. Save Blishin. Comes out to Schustenka. Finds Nibbs. Nibbs up the left wing. Nibbs back for Schustenka, who's being hooked by Kaniski. Minute 14 to go. Here comes the play. Up the left wing. Stevenson fires it into the Tri-City zone. Barnes steals it from Kaniski, but Stevenson is there. Back to Kaniski behind the net. Still 5-on-3 for another second and a half. A minute to play. As Loring steps out of the penalty box, and we get a cross-checking call. Calvin Nibbs called for the cross-check, and it continues to be 5-on-3. That comes at the 19:04 mark.
Great City American penalties to number 22, Calvin Nibbs. 2 minutes for cross-checking at 19:04.
And the pieces of the stick being picked up will be removed from the ice. So the Seattle Thunderbirds will take a 3-0 lead into Game 4 tomorrow here in the Coliseum. Game 5 will be in Seattle Center Arena. on Friday night. No, there are no tickets. It sold out in about an hour several weeks ago. And they'll take a minute to clean up the pieces of Calvin Nip's stick off the ice. One thing about Calvin, when he puts a cross-check on you, he means it. That stick is busted right in the middle where he tattooed Kaniski's noodle with it. 56 seconds to go in the hockey game. 16 seconds left in the penalty to Rennie. The 5-minute major to Spenrath is gone, but left circle, Stevenson. Puck goes into the corner, comes off to Kaniski, right side. Still 5-on-3 Seattle. Kaniski down low to Stevenson. Stevenson up to Blauer. Whoop, threw it right by Cam Blauer. And now it's 5-on-4. And the Thunderbirds will bring it up the right wing board. Stevenson bashed by Loring. But Stevenson plays through it, gets a shot away, save Blasian. Right side, under a half minute to go. Penalty coming as Chapman is dumped. And now Lindsay gets a face full of Al Kaniski. Sandwith wants a piece of Kaniski. They're going to back everybody away. Referee Watson calling the penalty. And I think it's going to be Kaniski. No. It'll be Lindsay going to the Lindsay's going to the dressing room at the 19:38 mark. Lindsay will go, I think, for slashing is the signal for referee Watson. In case you thought this game was going to be, what can I say? I don't want to say anything. Back to 5-on-3 as Lindsay's penalty creates a 5-on-3 again. And it will be 5-on-3 for the remainder of the hockey game. Seattle 3 of 9 on power plays, interestingly enough. With all that 5-on-3 and everything else going on, they did not have, Seattle only got one goal out of that power play, and it came very early after the elbowing major to Spenrath.
Kaniski, 2 minutes for roughing. Tri-Cities penalties to number 1, Don Blishen, 2 minutes for slashing, to number 11, Bill Lindsay, 2 minutes for roughing at 19:38.
17 seconds remaining in the hockey game. Sprague shot, save Blishen. Another shot, save Blishen. Puck tied up beside the net. Blishen goes down, gets back up. Stevenson behind the net, throws it out front. Chopped away. And time runs out in the hockey game. And the Seattle Thunderbirds have won the third game of the playoff series and take a 3-0 lead. We'll be back with a... All right, folks. That's absolutely enough. I saw 1 cup full of ice go on the...
In the post-game show is the governor of the Tri-City Americans, Mr. Ron Dixon. And Mr. Dixon, first off, we haven't seen you here in the Tri-Cities Coliseum for a little bit. Welcome back. And unfortunately, the Americans took it on the chin tonight. They lost a big one, a playoff game, 8-2 to the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Well, thank you, Tony, for welcoming me back. And you're right twice. We did take it on the chin tonight.
What do you think? How do you feel that the guys are playing right now? Do you feel that after 3 consecutive games that they have really allowed Seattle to take control of them, where do you think their minds are right now?
To tell you the truth, I really don't know. They played tonight like they didn't want to win, and they succeeded in that objective. I haven't seen them play this bad in quite a while. They obviously missed their coach, and they missed their leadership, and they're playing like they need a little more than we can give them right now. But tomorrow's another night, and hopefully Cozy will be back, and we'll see if we can't make a series out of this.
Ron, I want to ask you a couple questions about what you believe and what do you think has happened here in the last couple of days, the stick-swinging ball. Were you up in Seattle when that took place?
No, I wasn't, Tony.
What is your opinion on what actually took place?
Well, I think even with journalistic license, I think it's pretty hard to convince me that our 19 guys attacked their 13,000 people. I think what happened was it's a very intimidating building, as you might know. The fans there, some of the fans are very rowdy, to use a polite term. You know, they're very intimidating, and they don't take precautions to put some people behind the players' area, like our fans, which would give us a fighting chance to play hockey and not worry about, you know, getting something in the back. They chose not to do that, and Rick complained in the first period and called the ref over, same ref, Watson. Watson supposedly made it a complaint to the building management, and that didn't get us anywhere. Rick came back at the end of the second period, back into the dressing room. He was soaked from beer and bags of other things that looked like beer. And, you know, again, nothing was done, and finally, you know, it took the patience of Job to stand there and be hammered like that for 2.5 hours, and I guess he just lost his cool, and the guys followed their coach over the wall.
You were quoted in the print media here in the Tri-Cities. You stand behind Coach Kozubak 100%?
100%.
And the actions that were taking place there? There were some officials that were involved there. Governor Brian Shaw, the Portland Winterhawks, he was on hand. He actually had a chance to take a look. There have been numerous reviews of the tape by the league. They feel that there was an adequate amount of security there. What do you feel about that? A situation like that occurs here. I don't ever see something like that ever happening here in the Tri-Cities Coliseum.
Well, you're right. It will never happen here. We have a different kind of fans. Our fans come for fun and for the poetry of the game, and they don't come to be abusive. And we don't have liquor in our building, and I think a lot of people think that's a pretty good idea, and I'm one of them. But I have to take exception to your remark that that the league thinks that there was adequate security. They have fined Seattle, and the fine is yet to be determined, the amount, but they do not agree that the security was adequate. So, you know, that's an issue that still hasn't been resolved, and it will be resolved by noon tomorrow. I'm hopeful that Cozy will be back and behind the bench tomorrow night, and maybe it's not too late, as I say, to make a series of this. You know, it's awful darn tough to go into a building, and it's your 20 guys and they're teenagers, and you got 13,000 screaming people, even in the best of times. Never mind having 200 or 300 yahoos behind you, dumping everything on and screaming obscenities about your women folk and your parentage and et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty tough.
Ron, I'm going to switch gears here for just a moment, if I may, and ask you a question or so about what has been going on here in the Tri-Cities as far as the Tri-Cities Coliseum, the Tri-City Americans Hockey Club, your future plans with the Coliseum and the club itself, the fact that the city of Kennewick has just done a vote, has gone through several different channels, have turned down the offer that was set upon their table. Where are things lying right now?
Well, I think, you know, they're lying much where they were 6 months ago, Tony. The city has an option on the building. I think the building should be owned by the city. It's tough for private enterprise to make the kinds of decisions that a community facility needs to have made. A lot of those decisions are political decisions, and it's damn hard to keep out of hot water, you know, as we may be an example of that. But, you know, we get probably 6, 8, 10 requests a week to use the facility for public purposes, everything from you know, day school tours to various charities. We try to accommodate as many of those as we can. But, you know, we just think that a building, you know, we're here to play hockey. I'm here to play hockey. That's what I'm interested in. And we built the building, and because we promised we would, and I think we kept that promise. You know, the bottom line is that I think the city should be making decisions about who uses the building. And because no matter which way we seem to decide, there's always someone, particularly in the press, who doesn't seem to think that's a very good idea. So, you know, if the city wants to do it, we're lending them the money to buy the building, and if they choose to take us up on that offer, that's wonderful. If they don't, well, you know, there's not a for sale sign in the Coliseum, that's for sure. But, you know, the city at some point will own this building. They've got an option to buy it in the contract, and I'd rather them own it sooner than later. And then we can get on with trying to put a winning product on the ice.
Okay, now, obviously, the second part to that question is the Tri-City Americans, are they involved in the sale of the Coliseum?
No, they've never been for sale, and they're not currently for sale. And as I've said repeatedly, it's not anticipated they'll be for sale. So that's the situation there. We've certainly had a lot of people that have expressed an interest in owning the team. We've tried to be pretty clear and pretty consistent in saying the team's not for sale. And, I say it again tonight, it's not for sale.
The CBA basketball franchise, we talked about the last time that you were down in town. The fact that Max Chambers has gone through the media route and not been able to be in touch with you. I believe it's been 7 weeks since the last time that you both have talked. What is the story there? It looks as if now that he would like to take that team to Yakima.
Well, this is the strangest guy I've ever talked to in my life. I wouldn't know him if he stepped in here and gave me a hug. He's done all his negotiating through the media. I don't know what kind of game he's playing, but when he first contacted us, he didn't contact us, he contacted the media, and we found out about him through the media. So we got his phone number from the media, and I gave him a call personally and asked him, what it was he wanted to do. And, he said he was just sniffing around as to what might be available, and we didn't talk about race, we didn't talk about anything except a general overview, and I told him that we'd welcome another sport in the building, being the landlord, and asked him to put something in paper that we could get some sort of an idea who he was and what his references were and who his associates were. To this day, we've never had anything from the guy in writing. We've never had a phone call, and the only time he seems to ever want to talk to us is through the media. And some guys are real good at playing the media, and I can tell you that 99.5% of what this guy seems to say is just nonsense, absolute nonsense. I spent exactly 4.5 minutes talking to him, and the issue of the use of the Coliseum and the cost of the Coliseum has never come up. I mean, he said he wanted a basketball basketball activity in the building, and we said, fine. Just put something in writing that, A, you've got a team, B, who your associates are, and when you want to play. To this day, we've never had anything in writing from the guy. So he's playing some sort of politics. I don't know why. He doesn't really have to, because personally, I love sports, and I'd love to see basketball here.
Let's shift it back to hockey real quick. The Tri-City Americans down 3-0 now. Playing against a very good Seattle Thunderbird club, a club that has virtually dominated in every aspect of the series so far. What do you feel that the Americans have to do in the next contest tomorrow night in order to salvage a win here?
Well, I think we have to show a little leadership, Tony. I think we have to get a good game out of the guys that have got to carry the mail. Guys like Ole. I don't think Ole had a pretty good game tonight. He would probably agree with me. Stewie, hasn't done much in the series. He's got to start getting going and weave some of that magic. And I think we need leadership from the 19-year-olds. I think Calvin played well tonight, and a few of the other 19-year-olds. But they've got to reach down and play this game like they want to win, and they didn't do that tonight. Hopefully they can tomorrow night. Rick's coming back tomorrow, and it's an emotional thing when you get involved in that kind of I'm sure if Rick could take it back, he'd do almost anything to take it back. But the emotion when you play, this is a very emotional game. And, even people who are very, very modulated get very emotional in this game. And your fans get emotional, and you don't want to let people down. And the players get very, very emotionally involved, very attached. And, it's an unwritten rule in this game that if you get attacked, that you circle the wagons and you defend each other. And, when the coach was getting attacked, it finally, the tinder got drier and drier and drier and drier. And finally the spark, and it ignited into flame. So I've been watching this now for 8 or 9 years, and I've never been able to figure out exactly, what motivates young men to play a certain way on a given night. I know that a lot of it has to do with their feeling for their coach. That relationship is a really intimate one, and it's more intimate than even the relationship with their parents. And so it's an area I stay out of, or try to stay out of, and, I couldn't predict what's going to. We may come out and blow Seattle out by 6 goals, and we may lose by 6 goals. I just don't know what's going on in their heads right now.
Look back real quick, Ron, at the season. The season had its peaks, it has valleys. Went through every type of emotion, as you were saying. Tell me what you thought of the Tri-City Americans from the Christmas incident on to the end of the regular season.
I think they played up to what they were capable of, Tony. I think they've played some good hockey. I've seen them on the road most of their games. I think that we've got a good team. I think we've lacked some leadership, and I think we've paid a price for Rick being a rookie coach, because there are some tricks of the game that, and putting some rowdy fans behind the bench is one of them. That can be very, very intimidating, especially if they're dumping stuff on you all game and there's nothing. You're pinned into that little box. There's nowhere you can go. You can't escape, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And that's something that certain organizations kind of do. Thank God we're not one of them, but it is, and it's something. If Rick had been in the league for 5 or 6 years, he'd have been able to turn his ears off, sweat his way through it, and not brought the team out on the ice until he got good security. He would have just kept those boys in the dressing room and demanded security. He didn't do that. He thought he could make his way through the game, and he didn't make it. So, from Christmas, I think we played some good hockey. I think we played some entertaining hockey. I think we've given full measure for the dollars that the fans pay. I'm embarrassed tonight for the fans. I'm embarrassed for the guys. I know they're embarrassed. It's pretty humiliating when, a team like Seattle comes into your building and beats you that bad. And, I'm sure they feel a lot worse about it than I do. I just wish I was 25 years younger and could skate.
All right. Ron, tomorrow night's another game. And, of course, Tri-City Americans will bounce back, and they'll be in that one tomorrow night. So we'll see you tomorrow. I know you're going to be here for a couple of days to watch the team and be around the Tri-City area for a little bit. I appreciate you talking with us on the post-game show.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. Ron Dixon, Governor, Tri-City Americans. He's been a guest. We'll be back in just a moment. A couple of the Tri-City Americans will be up here. We'll talk with them, get their opinions on tonight's contest. Tri-City Americans drop game number 3 of the playoffs, 8-2 to the Seattle Thunderbirds. Back right after this.
That's right. The earth is shaking, baby. Don't rub your eyes, because you're seeing a living legend right here, the Continental Dream, Flex Steel, who's going to be right here in Kennewick in the Tri-Cities area, April 9th. I've signed an open contract to take anybody on. Remember, baby, I'm the king of the mountain. I'm the one standing at the top looking down at anybody else. So I don't care who it is. Step through those ropes and come face to face with the very best there is in the business today. Woo!
Tri-Cities Wrestling, Monday, April 9th. Be there.
Looking for a computer and want the best buy around? It's not at a warehouse, it's not at a discount store, it's not even mail order. It's at Kennewick Computer. Like our 386SX computer system with 40 megabyte hard drive and crisp VGA color graphics. You could mail order this from CompuAd for $25.39 or buy locally from Kennewick Computer for just $19.95. More features, better service, less cost, financing available at Kennewick Computer next to Greg's Furniture in Columbia Center North.
All right, back here live once again in the Founders Club. I'm Tony Ott, now joined up here by Tri-City Americans defenseman Steve Jakes. And Steve, yes, give him a big hand, folks. Steve, of course, sitting out the suspension part of that Saturday night incident. And I guess, Steve, we're going to just dive right into it and talk to you a little bit about that, what happened on Saturday night and the stick-swinging brawl that occurred. Your number was called today. It was not released until later on this afternoon. According to the league, it was released yesterday. But nonetheless, it must have been very tough for you to sit out tonight and watch the team go down.
Yeah, it was definitely tough, but that was 3 days ago, and now I'm suspended, and I played the game, and I think there was an incident like that a couple years ago with Dean Chanel's son, who was playing for the Medicine Hat Tigers at the time, and him and his teammates went into the stands in a similar incident, and it was Kamloops Blazers' fault for not having the proper security. So now it seems to be a little double standard here. Now we got our guys are suspended, and now I'm suspended, and I don't know if I should go into it any more than that, but that's the way it happened. And I think to label us as a bunch of barbarians, which I've been hearing, is just ridiculous, because in any group of 20 people, you got good people and bad people and tolerant people and intolerant people. And I think when things like that happen, it's just automatic. You don't think, well, you don't stop and make a rational decision. I think although the whole blame has to be placed on the security in the Seattle Coliseum, on those fans are right there and getting away with all kinds of whatever they were doing, and to say that it was all our fault is just ridiculous.
Very tough situation. I know the league has gone over it, and I know that there's going to be some fines levied against the Seattle Center Coliseum, the officials with them. I know that the Tri-City Americans are suffering. The coach is out. Of course, you're out. Again, Jeff Fancy was out again tonight. They did reinstate Terry Virtue, but there may possibly be even more suspensions leveled out in the next game. So this is not over with yet.
Well, yeah, no, not. I think if we would have won tonight, there probably would have been some more suspensions. But I think now that we lost, I don't think there'll be any more suspensions. I think they'll let us go because we're in a pretty deep hole here.
Steve, let's talk about the game a little bit. What'd you see out there tonight?
Well, I saw, you know, definitely some bad breaks, but that doesn't have. They're playing a good playoff style of hockey. Seattle is, and every time they get a chance to get a stick on one of us or hold us or do that, then they're doing it, and we're not used to that style because in the regular season it doesn't happen. The reffing is a lot more lenient in the playoffs, and we're not holding them up like they're holding us up. And definitely we're short on defense with suspensions and a few injuries. But
what about tomorrow night? What's going to have to take place?
Well, I think we're just going to have to come out and play hard. What else can we do? I sure hope I'm going to give it my best effort, and I hope everybody else is going to too.
All right, Steve. We'll let you get down there. I know there's a team meeting that takes place after all these games, and we're going to get Calvin Nibbs up here in just a moment. Appreciate you taking the time to talk with us tonight here on the postgame.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right, Steve Jakes, ladies and gentlemen, defenseman for the Tri-City Americans. We'll take the time out. We'll come back. We'll talk with Calvin Nibbs in just a moment. Again, the final score, Seattle 8, the Americans 2.
Seems to be stopping everything we're firing his way.
Good question. How in the world are you going to get by Danny Lorenz? Here's some numbers for you. Seattle, I know these are numbers that you're going to be going over and over and over again, but this is the tale of the tape. Seattle has scored 23 goals. The Americans have scored 6. Shots on goal, Seattle had 22 in the first. They had 12. You guys were able to hold them down to 12 in the second. They came back, had 20 in the third period for 54 for the game. The Americans had 25. For 3 games, the Americans have been able to get 77 shots on Danny Lorenz. Seattle's had 140. The T-Birds have basically played and dominated on just about every aspect of this series so far. What do you guys have to do to get back in this? It's down 3-0 now.
Well, definitely we've got to play a lot smarter, stay out of the box, because they're just killing us on the power play. And instead of trying to be so fancy, we just got to keep dumping it in and going to the net for rebounds. And hopefully we'll get lucky and get on them early like we have been the games before here and jump on them and hold it till the end.
The veterans need to stand up, be counted, as they say, this time of year. How do you feel the play of the veterans has been?
It's no leadership quality there whatsoever. Like, our veterans are taking the dumb penalties, and instead of showing the younger guys what to do, we're showing them what not to do, and that's just not going to work.
Why do you think that is? I mean, do you think the wind was taken out of your sails with that incident that happened on Saturday evening? That was late in the third period, but do you really feel that the intimidation factor by the Seattle fans really did its job?
No, that happens all the time. You learn to live with that, but because by that time the game was already out of hand. It just seems we can never get nothing going. We dump it in, they dump it out. We dump it in, they dump it out, and that's the way it plays. They get it in our end, they wheel around and score, and you just get so frustrated and don't know what to do.
Frustration definitely peaking a little bit in the later stages of tonight's game. The 5-minute major that was assessed against Greg Spinrath, they were able to score a marker off of that. That really was the final straw there. But as far as the way that the Americans played through the whole game, there were definite penalties that probably shouldn't have been taken. And I think this is something that the coaching staff and the players are going to have a little bit of a get-together on. You got to come right back and play these guys again tomorrow night.
Oh, that's for sure. That'll be brought up a lot during our meeting tonight, which
hopefully guys will drive it into our head and know that you just can't do that or they're going to beat us again tomorrow. So hopefully if we can stay out of the box, jump on them early, we'll have a good game tomorrow.
Do you feel that this, you may be out now, or do you feel that there's a chance? This is a long series.
Oh, no. We win tomorrow, and that small rink in Seattle, we're due to win there. We've came so close many times. We're bound to win, and who knows, Friday might be the time, and then we're back here again, 3-3, we're tied up, and then it's a whole new game.
We've talked negative so much on what's happened in the last couple of days. Let's talk a little positive real quick. Ole Kolzig, he played, there were some shots tonight that should have gone in, but then again, he was there to stop them. He did get 6 of them to go by him before the game was over, but he really didn't have all the help that he needed down in front tonight, did he?
Oh, no, you can only count on Ole for so much, and when he stopped in the first, second, third shot, by that time there's got to be someone there to clear the rebound or the player out of the way, and in the last 3 games it just hasn't happened. The rebound will come out and it'll just go on the Seattle stick wide open, no one there on him to cover him whatsoever.
Danny the Wrens, of course, is just playing phenomenal. You mentioned the rebounds. That's one of the things we pointed out tonight in the broadcast, is that Danny the Wrens seems to be controlling his rebounds, and no second shots, no third shots. He's dishing it off to either a T-bird or he's covering it up.
Well, I'd say it's a lot easier to control your rebound when the next white jersey coming in on you is still at the blue line, and with Ole, when they're shooting right there, there's more green, and he doesn't know what to do with it.
You guys are going to regroup. I know tomorrow night you guys are going to come back, and it's going to be a game tomorrow night against the T-Birds. You're going to snap that big goose egg that sits there right now in this series. Seattle leading it 3-0, and a lot of emotion coming back tomorrow night. Possibility of Coach Kozibak coming back and sitting behind the bench.
Oh yeah, with Cozy back behind the bench, they'll just lift us up that much higher, and hopefully it's not as if we've had bad coaching, but with Cozy back there, I think everyone feels a lot more, how can I put this, like a lot more confident, or, not sounding bad, but we get comfortable with one person back there, and when he's not there, you're missing part of your team there.
And there's no doubt about that. I think Governor Ron Dixon made it sound very nicely, is that you guys develop a relationship with your coach, and that's what's happened over the course of the year. You guys have gone through some tough times and some good times, and it all blends together. So this is kind of one of the tough times, but I know you guys are all professionals. You guys can pull it together tomorrow night against the T-Birds, and we're expecting to see you guys come out there and really showing the green from Seattle what the black and gold can do, all right?
Okay.
All right, Calvin Nibs, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. Again, the Tri-City Americans lose the 3rd game of the best-of-9 Western Division semifinals, 8-2 to the Seattle